Hello, everyone. Welcome to Core. This is the video game podcast known as Core, not to be confused with other companies and places and things with the name Core. We're not
that water.
Yeah, we're not the only ones, I'm afraid.
Yeah, or exercise things. Like, I notice everything to do with exercise is always like Core Absolution.
Yeah. What's that about?
Core of this.
Yeah.
I think
the only video game podcast with its own water brand, but don't associate us, us with it if it does anything bad.
Right. Don't ever.
If someone finds a finger in your Core bottle, we're not affiliated.
No, we don't know anything about it. Well, it's good to be here. It's me, Scott Johnson, Bo Schwartz, John Jagger, here to talk about the week in gaming and the whatnot. We got GamesCom still going on, but all the big announcements are out. So the world's largest, I don't know if you guys knew this, even when E3 was active, this is the world's largest games convention. Did you know that? It's impressive, right?
That's good.
Yeah, I like it.
Good for them.
Yeah.
You did it, Germany.
We did it. Good job,
you get that
guys.
from the advertisement for the show you were watching they did?
No, but fair point. If you watched our reaction videos, we watched the entirety of the opening whatever thing, kind of by accident. We thought we were there just for the Blizzard thing, but it turned out they had a whole show before the Blizzard thing, and it was 2 hours. So that's up on YouTube, frogpants.tv, if you want to catch that. But yeah, Bo's not wrong. They would advertise the event that we were already watching. They would advertise that event to us in the middle of the event that we were already watching. So it's as if somebody was sitting there and Jeff Keighley said, all right, after this, we'll be talking about the Bear. And then a commercial said, you should watch Gamescom. And here's 20 reasons why. And then back to Jeff. But we're already there. So who was that for?
Yeah.
I still don't get it.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, it was
They're
real
just
dumb.
bragging, I guess, maybe for live attendance. Sometimes they do. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like when they put a teaser for the trailer before the trailer that you watch.
I don't like those
So
either.
do we want to talk about what happened? Because I think we normally do these streams when we cover live stuff. And, we're not the nicest. I think sometimes, we don't try to be mean, but, we're just like, oh my God, look at this game.
Yeah, we get a little cranky. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it was
No,
maybe
we
a
just like to
little
make
extra, at least with 2/3 of us, because 2/3
Yes.
of us were not here for the rest of the show.
But it's not unexpected at this point, I think, for most people to know, we're going to talk over. Like, if you have a game you're really excited about and we're not, it's like Hearthstone Battlegrounds, we'll be like, blah, blah, blah. So what'd you have for breakfast? And people are like, oh man, why are you talking over this sweet announcement?
Yeah.
And it's a react stream, but it's also friends hanging out. We don't get to hang out enough, so we like to talk and make each other laugh. And that's normally the deal. But this one was a little different, but I don't know if everyone got the context of it, because it was like Scott was Rick, and he's like 5 minutes in and out. You know that meme?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And then you come out, because it was literally like, oh wow, midnight's a big deal. It's going to be at the top of the show. And we aren't the only ones who thought that, because there was a meme in the WoW subreddit about this exact thing. So a lot of people thought they were going to get their WoW right at the open of the broadcasts. And that's how we planned the thing. Like, Scott was just like, listen, I want to watch the WoW cinematic. You guys want to watch? And I was like,
Yeah, it was super random.
I'm super jazzed.
Yeah, last
and
minute.
John was like, I don't know. You know how I am with WoW. He's like, you know what? I want to join too. I want to have some fun. And it was great. And then they proceeded to edge us for 2 hours. And we were like, dude, I was working. Scott had a meeting he had to postpone.
Yeah, I had to push a meeting. It was a big one,
we were
too.
all like, what the hell, Gamescom?
Yeah. I don't know why the truth of the matter is we could have dug around and figured it out for ourselves. I think we were
probably our
just...
fault.
It definitely is, because the prior
But it
year...
didn't feel like it.
The prior year did the same thing. They had a kickoff, and it went about 2 hours, and if there was stuff in there just wasn't a Blizzard thing in there. But the way Blizzard presented it in their own blog made it sound like at 11 a.m. Pacific time, make sure to tune in to the big midnight reveal. It made it sound like it was happening at 11 a.m. sharp. And what happened at 11 a.m. sharp was the rest of the 2 hours of everything before we got to it.
I was stoked, and to be honest, I kind of figured it out before we started, because, and I consider Scott a great friend.
Sure.
I think he's awesome, But sometimes when Scott plans these things, he does not get the time right.
Yeah, I'll admit it.
Or there is some other detail that he misses. And he'll be like, guys, we're going to go live at this time. And then I go in and I look on my own independently. And then I gently nudge him and say, Scott, actually, it starts an hour later.
Yeah, this is this has not just happened one time. It's happened multiple times.
It's happened a couple times.
Yeah.
So I double checked before it started. And I went and I pulled up IGN stream of Gamescom. First, I went to Warcraft because I assumed it was going to be a Warcraft announcement, right?
Yeah, that's what we all
I didn't
thought.
see anything. And I was like, well, okay. It's weird that Warcraft doesn't have like a live stream going for this or something like that. So I went and just looked for Gamescom in general and saw, okay, there's going to be a stage show. And I was like, all right, well, they must be, they must be opening with Warcraft or something like that. I was like, when does this start? And everything I saw suggested that this was going to be just a big presentation starting at noon. The time that Scott had said, like, let's be ready and all that.
That might include a Warcraft cinematic.
And I thought... well, Scott has the time right. That's good. We don't have to figure anything else out. It's the right time and all of that. And then I went, that's great. He got it. But in the back of my mind, I thought, this really sounds like this isn't a Warcraft thing. This sounds like this is a Jeff Keighley production.
Oh, yeah.
And that Warcraft will be featured in it. And then I thought, well, maybe they said something in Warcraft starting the show. I'm not going to worry too much about it. And then it started... And we immediately started seeing trailers for Call of Duty and whatnot. And I went, well, I know what this is. And I was excited. My mood was very high throughout the whole thing. But you could definitely tell the two that were not here for
I just was like, all right, great. Next thing. Oh, that's not it yet. What are we doing here? And that's a weird indie. And now these are like gotcha games. What are we doing?
For some reason in my head, this wasn't like Summer Games Fest. This wasn't the Game Awards. Like, it's Gamescom. Yeah, it's a big show, but I wasn't expecting a 2-hour, thing. Yeah. My mistake, I guess. My memory was maybe
mine
bad.
too. I don't know why I expected that either. I thought it was a special one-off. I don't remember what they did in 2015 for Legion, because it's the last time I think this happened.
I remember I remember things going differently. They had people on stage. Like, I remember what's his beak? PvP man. Palinka was on. Yeah. I remember there was like 5 people in Legion t-shirts talking like it was a BlizzCon, panel. So I was expecting some of that. Which also, I mean, Holly got up there and said a piece, but it was just Holly going like, "Here, we love her game. Here's a trailer," and that was it.
She's great. Love her.
Yeah.
I guess she didn't have a panel today. Some other panel was supposed to be.
Yeah, there's panels going on. Apparently, it's a whole weekend. It's almost like a mini BlizzCon, it feels like, over there. By the way, shout out to our core guild leader, Tanner, who's there in person.
He's there right now. I've been talking to him all afternoon.
We should have him on the show, like, when he gets back to tell us about his experience, I think.
I got a picture for you that he sent.
He's into it.
Let's see. This is the side of, here we go. He sent me a text, and all it said at the bottom was Borderlands, the way we say it, the way we pronounce it.
Borderlands.
And it's just this picture of this big Borderlands banner. It's on the side of this building.
It seems pretty cool. Like, ultimately, to have to be in a place where there's a convention. Like, I never see any of this shit in Canada where there's billboards and big posters for games and stuff. It seems pretty cool.
Yeah, I would go.
So he's having a good time.
It's supposed to be a really cool con. Everything about it's cool. We just kind of misunderstood the assignment on Wednesday.
Well, from remotely,
Thursday.
it's a little different. It's just
Wednesday?
a broadcast production and yeah.
When was this? Was it Tuesday? When did we do this? Tuesday.
It's
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah. I can't even remember what the hell day.
And it was like the opening night. Like, it's still happening now.
Yeah.
It's still happening now.
Well, John, if you think it's bad what you were saying about me and Times, I had to do a finale of a season of the medical show with Dr. Jerry Tolbert yesterday, and he sends me a message going, "Okay, we're good to meet at 1800 hours, right?" And I went,
is he ex-military?
his dad's like, he grew up in a military family. His dad was a medic and military's like.
By the way, that show's pretty good. I listened to all the episodes.
I'm glad you liked it. Yeah,
you guys are
having a great time on there.
One of you is very informative, and the other one's there.
And the other one is a fantastic host of fantastic network.
I'm good at asking questions. Sometimes they're dumb because I'm coming from that perspective, but that's the whole idea. We get an expert in there, and then we have a Chud, and the Chud learns.
You ask questions, but you also make statements, and sometimes Dr. Tolbert's like, well...
Not exactly that. Yeah. It's pretty funny how that works.
So you're telling people they should eat cookies. He's like, no. That's not quite what I'm saying.
Yeah, we had a good time. If you guys don't know what it is, it's at themedical.show if you want to go catch it.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
6 episodes, absolutely free. Go get them. We're just trying to make the world a little healthier or more knowledgeable. That's the whole point of that show. Well, all right then. Let's get into what we did or didn't see at Gamescom, and let's do that right now. So Gamescom happened. We saw a bunch of stuff. The World of Warcraft trailer, we may as well just lead with this since they didn't.
Let's lead with it.
Do what they weren't willing to do.
That's right. We're doing the hard stuff.
We'll do what Gamescom
won't. It's a very Nintendo.
I was trying to do the Nintendo
Sega thing. Yeah. We don't
games
have
won't. We'll do what games won't.
Processing, we'll call it. Anyway, so what happened was that trailer happened, and it was really cool. The three of us thought, and I don't know how much of the detail we have to get into since we already did.
I assume everyone, a lot of people on the show there's a lot of WoW interest. Not everybody, I guess. There's a lot of people who aren't, but I assume.
I mean, there's definitely a pedigree there. You know, Scott. Pretty well known in the WoW community. We have an instant segment every now and then, and the show started as a Heroes of the Storm show.
Yeah, there you go.
I just assume everyone, even if they don't play, will still watch a Blizzard trailer. And if you didn't, I will say this is this is one to watch. It's a good one. It's not like Dragonflight or even War Within was kind of. I went back and watched them, and it's very stark. Mm-hmm. How this one has like a little bit of narrative and looks cool and badass. It's kind of crazy.
I know
COVID happened. It kind of affected maybe things and, all the other things that have happened at Blizzard over the years. But this is back in the direction of like, oh, shit. Some stuff is happening.
Yeah.
And I loved seeing Lady Liadrin and Lothamar get the cinematic treatment. Like, I'm not even a Blood Elf fan, but I was like, oh, it's cool to see the Blood Elves. Like, yes. We got a lot of humans and orcs in the trailers and stuff. And Lich Kings and Banshee Queens. It's just cool to see some fresh. Everything about like what you're seeing getting this treatment is fresh, except Xalatath, we've seen a bit, but I'm okay with her.
She's looking great though. She's a hottie. Look at her, hubba. Here's the thing though. This is, people have said, oh, it's all the horde trailer, everything's horde all the time, and then people see this and go, oh, nice, we get some elves, and then you forget, oh, these are horde aligned elves though.
I've had plenty of Anduin in his beard. It's 5 o'clock shadow. I'm good.
Yeah, you're all right with that? All right.
Yeah, I'm good. The War Within was literally like him, like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, I'll take a break, dude. And so, this was great.
It's pretty great. My favorite part about it is literally they reignite the Sunwell. They bring it back. A thing we've been talking about since the first expansion of this game. And
they had the Sunwell was back.
When?
It already was back.
When did it get lit up again? I don't remember
when the Naru sacrificed itself into the Sunwell.
What happened? It was only like a 2-day charge, and then it went back to poo again? Why is it
It got destroyed, then it came back corrupted, then it got purified by the Naru, and then it's been back.
Yeah.
It's like one of my big beefs for a while with like if you play a blood elf in WoW, you create your character and you get the little intro thing and they talk about like with the restored Sunwell, but then you go back to pre-Burning Crusade and everybody's talking about how the Sunwell's gone. And then you leave the Blood Elf zone and they're like, no, it's been restored. And then like the Sunwell is in a state of flux because of timey-wimey how WoW works with its expansions and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's not that they reactivated it for the first time ever. I don't think we know exactly what happened. To me, it looked like she called forth like paladin entities from the Sunwell is what it seemed like to me. Because if you look at the armor of the figures in the background, you see a lot of like paladin armor sets.
That's
from the
that
past
skin everybody loves
like,
or had to have.
You can see the retribution paladin armor in the background.
Judgment armor.
Or judgment. That's what it was.
Yeah, and there's that bit right there with a hand on her shoulder. you know?
Yeah, so the Sunwell, the Sunwell has been active for a while, but it hasn't been doing stuff like this. It's been, been a font of magical energy, but it hasn't been producing an army of paladins to fight the void.
Just looks like a big pool of...
Chat room saying it's confirmed today that it's the Army of Light. Who's the arm? Is that?
Oh, I feel like I should know that. John probably knows, and he's the most critical WoW player here. So, John,
yeah, but he follows lore quite precisely.
That's true.
We don't. So.
Yeah, but I've been out of it for a while. But yeah, I mean, like, look, that's paladin-y stuff back there.
Big time.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's so they're saying an army of light, just like she has an army of void, right?
Yeah.
Like a counter to it.
The coolest void walkers in the history of the game, by the way. I want to stay. If I'm a warlock, I'm demanding, pitchfork in hand, that Blizzard update that shitty model, because
the void walkers in games should look like that. Yeah. They look so much better than like the derpy blobs. They're like, I'm a scary void walker. Like, no, you're not.
You're not at all, dude. You're just like a little puff piece.
They're chat's saying it's the gang from Argus, like the Lightforged Draenei and Turalian and stuff like that.
Sweet.
Oh, all right then.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, we are in for like, the final battle for Azeroth, so the who's who of like space involved people should be.
I don't know why, but when they said that to me, I just pictured a bunch of paladins like tooling around in space and stuff, and all of a sudden the little WoW like invitation window appeared in front of them, and it's like, Lady Liadrin has invited you to join her at the Sunwell. Will you accept? Yes or no? And the paladins were like, yes. like yes, and they get summoned to the Sunwell.
RSVP.
Far, baby.
Sure.
I can't stop thinking about it for some reason mechanically within what it's like to play WoW. Is just like, you've been invited to the Sunwell to help defend them.
I love it.
I guess I'll go. I got nothing. Well, what am I doing? I'm just farming out here.
They could have shown up earlier, but they all queued as DPS.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bunch of shadow priests or whatever.
None of those guys wanted to tank. They all wanted to look cool and smite them.
How come, this feels like a question I would have asked on the instance in 2008, but how come shadow priests are even allowed to do shit? Because it seems like they're using void powers, right? They're using stuff.
Well, that's the idea, is they're flirting with the dark side.
Yeah, I don't feel like they should be on the same team, is all I'm saying. Maybe
I think the void is like one of those, like, it's part of the realm of the creation or whatever. It's not like you can ever get rid of the void.
No.
The problem is not
about
the void.
Harmony.
Zalatath is an entity. I can't remember. She's obviously not the elf she presents herself as. I'm told that's a corpse.
Oh,
she inhabits.
Really?
Yeah.
Holding up pretty good.
Because she was in. You remember the Legion weapons? She was the Legion weapon.
Right.
That the Shadow Priests wield.
That's right.
And if you talk to Lorewalker Cho, he gives the full backstory, but I forget. But there's a bit before that. I think she's like. I don't think she's an old god, but she's like an ancient being of some kind. So
the ancient thing happened, he would say.
What I appreciate about her, though, is she's not like, usually the old gods are like, I'm going to terrorize you and send my monsters after you and make you feel fear. But she just like demoralizes people. Like,
she's a huge dick.
She will attack and there's combat, but her thing is more just like that. They showed it in the trailer, which was just like, she has the right idea. You should flee. Like, she's always trying to twist whatever conversation she has into buttering you up, but making you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not gonna come right out and murder you, but she's gonna come over. You're gonna have a nice meal, and during it, she's gonna just calmly slip in a, "You seem like you peaked in high school."
Yeah. Yep. She does
a
seem
casual
like the type.
comment that's gonna just live with you the rest of your days.
Yeah.
I like the type. Yeah.
So I think what's kind of nice about this, I think from this whole Sylvanas debacle of trying to make her a villain, but also a good guy, is just now we just have someone who's kind of that same vibe, but just a bad guy. So we don't got to worry about, you know what I mean? Worry about like, we got people have to like her, but she's bad or whatever. She's just bad. And it's a lot better.
It's the unity of vision. Like, I think my biggest issue with, Sylvanas, which, Granted, there's a bias. I got a friggin' statue behind me. I really like the character, but even setting the bias aside, I think the problem was if you want to tell a compelling villain story, tell a compelling villain story. If you want to tell a redemption arc, tell a redemption arc. If you want to tell a story about an anti-hero, do that. But you can't do all of them at the same time. And it feels like that's what they tried to do, because it feels like there were multiple cooks in the kitchen being like, this is what this stew needs to taste like. And I think now Warcraft feels like, whether you like it or not, at least there's a unity of vision in what they want from their characters.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, the internet, the auto haters were out in force yesterday. They don't like the trailer just because that's automatic reaction.
Those guys
and
don't
F
even
those guys.
play. Oh my! Some of the commentary surrounding this trailer was just the usual. Like I get if you're not a fan of, there's a lot of reasons why, Blizzard might have chafed you and you don't play their games. You might have really good reasons why you don't. But you still got to compliment a good thing when you see it. And I feel like it's just a dog pile where it's just like, Blizzard's scene, they're over the hill and their stuff is shit. And I'm like, no, actually, this is really good.
Really
but also
good.
there's the whole, if you look at all the cinematics, they definitely also try to make the characters don't look like they do in game. They look like Varian looks more rugged and chiseled. Sylvanas looks she looks like a night elf in game, the model but a little more beautified. But in the trailers, she looks kind of hideous, but undead hideous. There's a weird she's fair and pale, fair and smooth skinned, but she's also ugh, you're just whoa.
Hardcore realistic rendering versus simple in-game representation.
But I think they do it with some intentionality. They're not making Genshin Impact where you're just oh, lovely booby lady, let me open some gacha boxes. They try to make them look badass and old and like real people. And I think the Lady Liadrin was the one I kept seeing where everyone's oh, they gave Lady Liadrin testosterone. It's heaven forbid a woman look like a woman and not a Genshin Impact character. And I think the in-game models for the Blood Elves in particular, I know there was a period where people play them because they were they were hot. they're little K-pop hotties in the game, and that's how the models look. So I think there's been a lot of commentary on that front where she just looks like a middle-aged elf, like a normal human woman who's a warrior, right? People people in the modeling industry don't sign up for the military. It's she's seen some shit and she just looks like a normal ass elf. Mm-hmm. And I love the way Lorthamar looks. He's all old, it's old man.
Oh, he looks great. Weren't
style.
they? Because they were both stuck in.
And they look great.
Where were they stuck for 1,000 years or something? What was that? Remember that?
Where were they stuck?
They were stuck. Him and those two, as a couple, were stuck in some.
Not them. That's
isn't it?
Turalian and Valera.
Oh shit! I got it mixed up.
Yeah, but
or not Valera. Or is it Valera?
It's one of the sisters.
No,
but it's
Turalian and Illyria.
Illyria. Isn't she a sister?
Yeah.
She's a sister, one of the Windrunner sisters.
Yeah, she's one of the Windrunner sisters.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Here's the thing. I don't think obviously there are people that are going to hate things just because it exists. We've talked about that. There are going to be people that are I don't like WoW, and therefore anything WoW does is bad. But I said this in Discord, and I think this is true. If you gave me this exact same trailer, but you replaced Lorthamar with Greymane, and you replaced now I can't remember her name.
Lady Liadrin.
Lady Liadrin with Anduin.
Yeah.
I would be very meh on this trailer. I've seen so much of them. I would walk away going, it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Which means that a lot of my investment is that I care about what's being presented. And WoW has a lot of characters, a lot of races. It's got 2 factions. Tell you more facts you didn't need to know about World of Warcraft. And there's going to be people that are I don't care about the elf cinematic. And I understand that. And I don't think we necessarily need to just be well, if that wasn't for you, you're a hater. I don't think that's true. I think, this isn't going to do it for some people. But I do think in general people should get a little bit better with their critique to be able to say, it didn't do it for me, and this is why, and just not be oh, it's trash, and it's all trash. Because I think even if that didn't do much for me, I would look at it and go, well, visually it was very impressive, right? Like visually there are some crazy shots that look super cool. Or, I went into it, going back to what we said earlier, Scott asked if Bo and I wanted to watch it with him and react to it with him.
Yeah.
And I initially said no. I said, I don't think I should be there. I said, you do the instance. People come to your content to hear people be positive about World of Warcraft. I tend to be a little grumpy about it. I don't think people want to hear my opinion on it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to abstain. I'm not going to be there. And then I kind of talked myself into it as both Bo and Scott were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's get in there. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'll just go and I'll tell myself to be positive. I didn't need to tell myself to be positive. I thought this trailer was cool. Am I going to buy Midnight? Probably not. I'm kind of done with WoW, but I still think that trailer. No, because why do I need a house in a game I don't play?
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Well, that might make you. It might be a draw for you. You might just be like, well,
I don't need a house in a game I don't play. It doesn't do anything for me.
You start playing it because you're like, oh, housing. Like
I have housing in games I do play.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just asking. I'm not saying you should. I'm not telling you to, but I just know.
Well, now we know that's not a draw for you. You don't care about this housing bit at all.
Right. Yeah. But so my point is like, I'm not drinking the WoW Kool-Aid these days. And despite that, I got to admit, like, that trailer was cool. I do play a Blood Elf, so it's aimed at me. But I definitely went in with the thought of like, how are they going to make me a person who, when I engage with Warcraft these days, I'm like, I don't know who anybody is, and I don't know why I should care about them. I don't understand the story. All the characters I like are either dead, retired, or sad. Like that's.
They're doing a fast forward quest line in War Within, so when you go to play. You don't have. You could do the MSQ, but they've like only the major beats, so it's like 2-3 hours. Apparently, they're doing that. So,
interesting.
I'm not saying you should. I'm not trying to sell you on it, but they are making an effort for that exact thing you're talking about. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And I would also say this isn't the first time WoW, at least because I am seeing in chat a lot of people talking about the visuals of it. This isn't the first time that's happened. Like if you go back and watch the reaction to the Mists of Pandaria trailer. People lost their mind because Blizzard changed the art style for that trailer. And it wasn't just because they fought a panda. It looked different, and people freaked out about it.
They're
so you
wrong,
can't even
but
say,
it's
well,
fine.
this is the first time they've ever done it. No, they did it in Pandaria. Everybody got upset about the art style in Pandaria, and now it's just another one of the trailers in the day. Like, it'll be fine, everybody. Just enjoy it if you enjoyed it, and don't if you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
That was also the era where it was like, WoW's becoming Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
Like, WoW's been falling off for 20 years, and somehow it's still around, and tons of people play it, and you'll need to, like...
Dude, I'm old enough to remember when people said, wait, you go back to your corpse and you don't lose anything? In fact, if you just resurrected an angel, you keep all your shit? What a baby game.
It's just funny, like, how much people have shit on WoW over the years. And look, if you don't like playing it and you have criticisms, they're valid. I'm not saying they're not valid, okay? But it's had staying power. Like,
it's done
fine.
Stuff's
come and gone, and it's stuck around. And it's not the only one. I think Final Fantasy is going to have the same sort of long lifespan as well, and that's great. But, it's just every time, like, I'm just like, this trailer is pretty sweet. Is it the top 5? I watched some other trailers, and I'm like, I don't think this cracks top 5 Blizzard all-time trailers. But that's like a high bar to clear.
Yeah, big time.
But this is still pretty good. Compared to the last two, I felt like it was a breath of fresh air. I think the Blood Elves are cool. I like ugly, like I like people that look like people and not like Genshin Impact stuff. I like that stuff too, but I think Warcraft is way better when it leans into rugged, battle-worn characters.
I agree.
But, the time for the retirement, arc is over. Thrall and Anduin just being like, oh god, we got to do this again.
Yeah.
I think I loved the vibe of this trailer. Do I want more? Yeah, I would have loved to have seen more abilities. I would have loved to have seen, but that's true all the time.
Let's admit what you really wanted, Bo. What Bo wanted was that pool catches on fire, right? The Sunwell. And Kael'thas comes out and goes, I'm back, bitches! That's what you want.
Kael'thas would have been sick. And yeah, he's not. He's
Comes
like
out
dead.
and he's like getting killed and then impaled by a crystal and then my head cut off and then being killed in the afterlife too was only a setback.
Yep.
I'm back again.
Honestly, I'm glad they didn't go with nostalgia bait because let me just situate you. Like John, I have reasons that this trailer shouldn't have spoke to me. One, I hate paladins as a class in all games across all. I hate the I don't mind paladins as like a fictional thing. I just hate that there's a class for them. And I also kind of hate WoW paladins because I find a lot of the times the ones I encounter, if they're a dick, 80% of the time they're human paladins.
Oh shit.
In game, like in pugs and stuff like that. Like
what about Zandalari trolls? How do you feel about
If
Zandalari
we ever
trolls?
D&D again, I guarantee you I'm playing a paladin.
Yeah, but like I'm not. I it's just a taste thing. Like I'm not saying get rid of it or it's really affecting my life in a deep way. But like I do not care. So they made a trailer just with the paladins. There's no mages, and
And
they
his
also
name is going to be Guy Palandinium.
Yep.
yeah.
Guy.
I also don't care about blood elves either that much. Honestly, I'm not that interested in blood elves. But god damn, they made everyone look badass.
They did.
Could I have used more combat moves? Like one of my favorite Blizzard trailers is Legacy of the Void. And if I was to if someone at Blizzard was to we're going to release this trailer, what's it missing? I'd be like, oh, it's definitely missing some cheap pops like in wrestling. Like Legacy of the Void trailer has shields and Templars and power overwhelming. You're missing some people to do the Leonardo DiCaprio meme and be like, hey, that's like my class. Oh shit. Like there would have been a moment before Lothar got broken by the mind magic of Xalatath where he bubbles.
Mm-hmm.
And she breaks the bubble. And she breaks the bubble. Like that's how bad he's like, oh shit, bring. And then she's like, I'm gonna break you, and then pops it, and then he goes, you couldn't even break one elf. And
dude,
then,
all the StarCraft trailers are so good.
They just missed a few opportunities, I think, to revel in some of the paladin abilities since they went so hard on the paladin side. But it's still a good trailer. Like
you guys want to hear my favorite thing in it? There's this part where the music does a thing. I just want to play it. It's very reminiscent of Burning Crusade, which is I think why it made I got all tingly. I'll say that. I got tingly.
Oh.
Here's the part.
This made me tingly too.
That's just freaking awesome, dude. Like just put
the
that
horns
in my
and
blood.
the arpeggio. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody does it like them with that stuff.
I like that they got all those paladins to put on the auto walk animation so that they would look cool.
Oh yeah, they're RP walking.
Yeah,
they're like, there's a battle going on, and they're like, let's RP walk before we fight.
Okay, guys. Now, when you hit this point, make sure you hit the slash on your number pad so you can start running again.
Yeah.
Now, another thing. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Another thing too is that this is if it follows the Legion pattern. Now, Legion was just Illidan and a crystal, mind you, but I have some small hope. I think it's not unreasonable that there'll also be a launch trailer. Like War Within did this, where they had a tiny trailer and then a launch trailer.
Oh,
it's kind of long, so I'm thinking maybe there won't be, but I'm sort of secretly hoping there'll be a launch trailer as well. For no other reason other than just to continue the hype. I really have this gut feeling that Midnight is going to be like Legion levels of hype on this thing. This is the first full Metzen back. Like Metzen came back mid War Within development, and it kind of shows a little bit, I think, and like there's some disjointedness to it. But like, I think this trailer is going to be like laser focused on. I have a feeling, I could be wrong, but I have a feeling this is going to be pretty laser focused narratively based on the zones we've seen on like this conflict. This world's, the World Soul Saga's kind of.
You think this is the Empire Strikes Back of this trilogy?
I do. I think if we're making a trilogy that we're ultimately probably going to be victorious at the end. Let's be real.
Yeah.
This is where we lose. Even there's a bit of that. I finished the Manaforge Omega raid in story mode last night, and even though you do win, I now have the answers to like what happens. Like, yeah, you beat Demencius, but it's all going according to Xalatath's plan. That's why she's there, and someone major, fairly major, I wouldn't say super major, but someone major dies as a result of it too. So they just they lean into the whole, yep, you completed the raid and join forces with evil Xalatath because you have to. But of course she profits from it. and in I think a pretty good way. They're like a pretty good swing to the next chapter. I think there'll probably be like a pre-season before midnight that leads, connects some dot to what we're seeing in the trailer. But essentially, like, she's got Dimensius's power, essentially. So not only is she just like a crazy, old god that can do all sorts of stuff, she now has the power of the all-devouring itself, and she's coming for Azeroth to, Unicron it, basically.
Yeah, she's good. And, by the way, she can give you insta headaches. That's one of her awesome powers. Just roll it right at you.
She's the power of strokes.
Yeah, it's like migraine. Down goes Lorthamar going, oh, shit.
It's behind my eye. All
right. Someone get me the Excedrin.
But I also wonder who the enemy behind the enemy is, because I do think she's got some Silver Surfer vibes too. Where yes, she's an antagonist, but
she heralds someone.
Sargeras is like, that's the sword is Sargeras, right, or something like that.
They
referenced the sword early in the War Within, the first.
Yeah,
the
they said they would pay it off in the third.
Oh, the one that stabbed into the planet.
Yeah.
At least they joked about it, and you're right.
I mean, we'll have to see. They do but the real enemy is like a lot. Like that was when the jailer died and was like, but I was just trying to prepare you for what was to come. People were like, Jesus Christ.
That you could be right, but I'm, the medicine of it all makes me feel like he'll pay it off. Like he's brought in, he's on the story, just doing the story thing. He'll realize there'll have to be a payoff.
Yeah.
I already feel it in this trailer. Compared to the last two trailers, they're like, let's make a trailer, and it's dragons. The actual expansion's pretty good, has some great machinima scenes in it, but the actual trailer is like, I'm an old watcher guy, and I'm going to light the torch. Oh no, dragon! And I'm like, it's like, it's not it, bud.
It's not quite the level.
I know there's a whole team of people, but under that direction, I really feel, there's this sense of epicness to this one.
Well, we'll be playing it in June. How's that feel for how long you got to wait?
Well, the store says as late as June. It doesn't say the launch date is June. It's just you pre-order, and it's like, hey, guys, we're not guaranteeing this launches till June 30th, 2026. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, see you in a year.
See you in a year, guys.
That can't be the launch date. I think that's just...
I mean, they wanted to do this year after year, and it would have been like February if they were hitting it, but it sounds like they're not hitting that. So
it still is Blizzard. I know they're getting pushed to release things more and more. They obviously Rod Get It Out the Door Ferguson was part of the company for a bit and left. So, but I don't think they're going to want to. I don't know. I don't think they're going to want to launch it before it's done, at least to some extent. So I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
I don't know. Here's hoping it doesn't take that. It doesn't take a year, but it could.
Yep. I'll be playing it, at least initially. I don't know if I'm in for the long haul, grind of it all anymore, but I'm interested in playing the initial part of this expansion, so we'll see how that goes.
I think you should play a bit of Ghosts of Koresh, even if you just do like story mode dungeon, like just do the MSQ.
I could do that.
Have to do like, because so like the goblin stuff, it's very detached. I find, I guess technically it's not, but this one, like, it just straight up leads into it. I guess you could just watch the cutscenes on YouTube as well. So
but it might be fun. I have to admit, I'm feeling a little bit of an itch. These trailers do that to me.
I am on a super WoW streak right now.
Yeah.
I've played so much this week. I'm pretty much done now. Like, there's not much left for me to do. But like,
you beat the game.
He beat WoW.
Yeah, he beat WoW.
It's done.
I beat WoW. Yeah. I, like the expansion wise, I definitely, all I have is like M+ and rating. I've done side activities, main quest. I was just like, man, I'm really feeling the vibe of this patch. It's super fun. So
you're on the patch like a smoker, right?
Yep, on the patch.
Yeah. Well, there were other things at Gamescom besides this.
Oh yeah.
Resident Evil Requiem showed a little bit of a thing. That kind of bummed me out. And John, I want you to talk about it. Obviously, this is going to be a big game for you. But I was a little bummed that it was just. It really was. It felt like just another one of those Office
things. It's just
things.
another tease. Yeah, it was just another little bit of a tease. I mean, the big thing is, I think it's more for the people who are at the show because they have a demo. Mm-hmm. People are playing the demo, and there's been a lot of good gameplay that came out of it. But we kind of know what Resident Evil 9 Requiem is going to be, and we've talked about it. And also, Scott, I think there's like a 90% chance you're going to have to play it.
Yeah.
So you're in. I'm in voluntarily, and it's not Bo's thing. So I want to take this moment not to really talk about Gamescom, not to really talk about any of that. I want to point out what is my favorite clickbait headline that I've seen in a while.
What's that?
And it's about this game.
Okay.
Resident Evil 9 officially kills off fan favorite character.
What?
Sounds pretty shocking, right?
Yeah.
Sounds pretty serious.
Fan favorite. I mean, that's a bit of a
Killed
wide...
Mr. X.
Finally. Oh, shit.
So I read that and I was like, I didn't see any of that announced in any of the things. And so I had to look. So I clicked. It worked. They got a click out of me. But what's amazing about this article is that they are talking about Alyssa Ashcroft, who is the mother of the girl who's going to be at least one of, if not the protagonist of Resident Evil 9.
Mm-hmm. Who looks
is
about a year older than her, by the way. Continue. Go ahead.
She looks very good for her age.
Yeah.
Now, this fan favorite character, okay, has been in 2 Resident Evil games prior, Outbreak and Outbreak 2.
Yeah.
Games that came out on the PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
There is no easy way to play these games anymore because they were online-only PlayStation 2 games. It might not have been online only, but they used an internet connection. It was a multiplayer online Resident Evil experience.
Yeah, did not
and
review
she was
well
one
back at the
of
time. Yeah.
many possible characters. In fact, for the longest time, I didn't even know her name was Alyssa. I called her Resident Evil Julia Roberts. Because back in the day when they showed the characters for this game, they flat out made the characters look like Hollywood celebrities. They stole the likeness of Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, Julia Roberts, Ving Rhames. I think they did for a couple others. I think Chris Tucker might have even been one of them that they did. They just based the characters blatantly off of celebrities for the art. And then mysteriously that art got changed before the game came out. So I think there might have been some legal ramifications of it. But anyway, Alyssa was Julia Roberts back in the day. That's what she was made to look like. And so that's just what I knew her as, because she's by no means a fan favorite character. She's barely known. Most people don't know who this character is. But even if you're going to say, look, John, it's for Resident Evil nerds like you that know this, so she could still be a fan favorite. Why don't you cut them some slack? Don't call them out on their clickbaiting. I want to remind you that the article said Resident Evil 9 officially kills off fan favorite character, and then the article goes on to say it seems like she dies.
So no
That's
official.
not official.
No.
There's nothing about that says they killed her off or it's official. In fact, a lot of the current speculation on the game is that the big monster that's coming after you in this game is a mutated version of her mom. So that's not dead. It's not great. You don't want to be a mutated.
No, nobody wants that.
But that's not dead. So I saw that and I just was like, oh my gosh, this is the biggest clickbait article I've ever seen, but I laughed. I thought it was really funny. Get your clicks, I guess.
Yeah, everyone's fighting for
Let
them.
me see. Who was it that did it? Let's give a proper shout out to a clickbait company, Gaming Bible.
Oh, the Gaming Bible. This is not the first time they've offended me. They're the worst.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They're
Really?
terrible. They're terrible. They're the
that's,
screen rant. They're the screen rant of video game sites.
Except for the fact that Screen Rant also does video games,
That's
and they
true,
do the
yeah.
same bullshit too.
Yeah. It's like, here's one for you. They have another one. Okay.
I think I'd have to ask them. I know sometimes they listen, so maybe they'll hear this and confirm, but I'm pretty sure Screen Rant stole images from Kyle and Garrett's videos and put them in one of their articles without crediting
That's
them.
great. Although that's
I know
bad,
that
but
happened to
that's
them from someone. I'm pretty sure it was Screen Rant that did it. And like they posted the receipts of it and it was clearly their Final Fantasy characters in the article.
lame.
I was like, man, guys.
Yeah. Here's another one, by the way, on Gaming Bible. Resident Evil 9 demo is sending gamers feral, and we can see why.
Feral.
Nobody's
They're
feral.
fighting each other.
Yeah, they're all a bunch of animals now eating each other. Cannibalistic feral creatures now.
I think this game's going to terrify you. I don't know if you've seen any of the footage of the creature that comes after you in this game, Scott.
Not yet, no.
But it slinks down out of the ceiling. It hides in closets. It chases you like Mr. X. And they've officially put in a lore reason for why it won't go into save rooms. It doesn't like bright light, so all the save rooms are well lit.
Great.
So you're officially, but it will try. So they put in an animation of it trying to get into the safe room and then being like, oh, it's bright in here. I hate it.
That sounds awful. If it chases me like Mr. X, meaning it's always kind of relentlessly somewhere on its way, I don't know if I can do it. Because everything else about this game seems like a return to 7 as well. So it's like this evil combination of 7's look, feel, vibe, but with a Mr. X type thing always behind you somewhere. Freaking, what are they trying to do to me? They want me to die.
When you have to play this because someone got it for you, and you're forced to play it, are you going to play in first person or third?
First. You know what? Third calms me a bit more. You know?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because I can see
There's
more.
definitely no video evidence of that.
It's
of you being very zen.
It's a little bit less in your... I feel like I have more control of my environment when I'm in third person than I do in first.
Yeah,
and that's
first person also more visceral, can't see over your shoulders.
Yeah.
You get more peripheral vision on 3D, I assume.
Not that helped with that RE2 playthrough very much, but...
The one you stopped.
The one I beat and got credits for. Remember that?
No, the one you got halfway through.
Oh, the one
halfway through.
I just didn't
50%.
Didn't play a lady. That was the only difference. It was a skin issue, really.
Skin issue.
They also showed off a new trailer for, or the only trailer, a teaser for Fallout 2's Season 2, which will take place in New Vegas. We already knew this, kind of leading into this. They talked about it, but a bunch of it will take place in New Vegas. And we'll get a little backstory flashbacks before the ghoul and what's her beak get over there.
Now that you aren't being edged for a Warcraft cinematic, how do you feel about this trailer stuff?
I think it's awesome. I can't wait.
All I could think about watching this was you, because it is so much New Vegas, so many homages to that game.
Not only that,
In one
look at
trailer.
this right here. Let me see if I can find it. Can I go back far enough? Let's see. I think it's right. Might be right here. Here we go. Watch this. This little area right here, oops. Oh, I already passed. Maybe it'll show it again when we see the city.
Your house?
It'll show the city coming up. Let's see. There it is. Do you see how lumpy everything is? That's the 2008 game, dude. Like all this terrain, it's not just desert. That's the thing with New Vegas it wasn't just a flat desert. There's these lumpy looking rocks that are very specific to the look of that game, and they are nailing that whole thing. I'm so excited. I can barely stand it.
It's got those robots with the cowboy on the front of it.
Dude. I just want to walk up to that car and make sure there isn't something in it that I need. You know, I want to play Fallout again now. And goodbye, everybody. We're playing Fallout.
They showed a clip of someone who's clearly part of Caesar's Legion, which is one of the factions. So you've got Mr. House, you've got Caesar's Legion. Like, you're going to see a lot of stuff. If you like New Vegas, they definitely were like, hey, Fallout fans really like this New Vegas thing. Let's just make them a love letter television show.
Can't
Did they finish telling, like, they're not retelling the video game story, right?
As far as I know,
No,
no.
this takes place after the video game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, there was some consternation about seeing New Vegas because they were like, well, they're picking a canonical ending for that game then, because there's a lot of ways the game could end.
Oh, I'm okay with that, though. I'm all right with that, picking an ending. It's all right.
I think you could think of the TV show as the way they do 40K stuff, where it's a record of what happened, and there can be inconsistencies because it's a record and
sure. It's like Mad Max. It's like Mad Max stuff. It's like it's legend more than
it's just if there's a conflict between facts and story, you're like, well, these are literary artifacts, and they're subject to the same human biases that anything written in history is, and you know, it's up to you. Don't worry about it. It's just a bit of fiction, and enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm excited though.
I like that rationale that should be applied to more things that have canons, and I think this Fallout's probably one of them. You know?
Yep. All I know is everything about that trailer just looks like it's going to be great. And that first season is one of my favorite things on TV. More of this, please. I wish it was sooner than January, but I'll take it. Right? January, December. something like that.
December.
Okay.
Remember.
Yeah, they had a bunch of the cast. They had they had the main main 2 cast members minus Walton Goggins, who's not there because he's busy making everything now. So he's busy doing other stuff. But she didn't look like she really wanted to be there. I can't quite get past it. It's fine. I know she doesn't want to get typecast. She wants to do lots of projects that aren't video game related. But after this and Arcane, I understand where her head's at in her interviews where she's mentioned this. But I could not get it out of my head that while she's standing there, she's like, I'd rather be anywhere but Germany right now. I just got that vibe.
I think I could be wrong about this because I'm not an actor, but I think the junket circuit is kind of boring, tedious. Like
probably
it's not that they don't like what they're working on. It's just like, so you were in this thing. Do you love Fallout? You're like, yes, I love Fallout. Like it's just like, man,
like Harrison
what do you
Ford.
think if your character made out with the other character? I know it's not going to happen, but what if that happened? Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would drive you crazy.
That would be so crazy. You wouldn't believe on set we had this day where we actually made that joke. And like they've said it for the 50th time.
Yeah.
But you as the viewer are excited and don't want to see that side of things, so they can't go up there and promote their game. Like, can everyone just F off and watch the show and leave me alone? Like,
yeah. Part of the deal. It's in their like contracts. They have to do this.
I think that's every job has like its dirty sides, I guess, where you're like, that job looks sweet. But then when you do it, you're like, okay, but, it's not all roses. And I feel like the promotional tour might be one of them, depending on you. Like, I would be so bad at it, right? Like, I like to say what I feel.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's why I kind of stopped taking acting classes and stuff, because that's the whole thing is you never say what you feel. You're either pretending to be another person or you're saying, yeah, that's cool, or listening to people's harebrained interpretation of the arts. Okay, great. Like, here's a beautiful midnight cinematic. Leon looks like a man. I hate life. I hate this trailer.
Those people are they've been gooning to anime girls for too long. I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the relevant subject. I just think maybe she's not some people are better at it than others, I think, probably.
Well, I love her in it. So
you might be right.
I hope she keeps at it, and however long this show goes, that she's all in, because she's very, very good. John, let's talk a little bit about, we talked about that. Oh, we're going to talk about Mortal Kombat in a minute. Warhammer 40K Dawn of War 4. I didn't know that was coming. I am all in on this shit. Bring it on, dude. I'm so excited about this freaking game.
Did anyone end up playing the one remaster at all?
I installed it. I haven't gotten to it yet. I'm like, every week I get a little closer to playing it. Last week I had bought it. This week I installed it, and maybe by next week I'll have played it.
Oh my gosh!
It's like waiting for Godot, but waiting for Dawn of War.
Yeah, waiting for John of War is what it is.
The word from people who have checked it out is that this is more of a sequel to the original than to 2. So,
and 2 was very tactical, and you had squads, and it was very different.
2 was more hero unit sort of business. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
I did too. 2 was great.
But just to set expectations, it is also being made by a different company.
So this is
it's
not
being made by King Art Games, who made Iron Harvest.
Oh, right. Oh, that's all right. Iron Harvest is good.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. The previous one was the Homeworld people, right?
Relic,
right?
Yeah,
that's not them this time.
They got a new studio on it.
Yeah, after all these, what's it been? 15 years, 12 years? I don't know. 13.
Oh, so Iron Harvest was the steampunk.
Yeah, it was cool.
It kind of missed me, but it always looked cool, and it released in 2020. So if that's their last game,
yeah.
Oh shit, they're
Swedish developer, I think, something like that. I think they're Swedish.
This might be like a Windmill Slam. Yeah, I'm just looking.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait! Look at this! Look at this!
Yeah, I don't. They haven't released anything since 2020, as far as I can tell, on Steam, except for a DLC. So yeah, this is probably going to be.
Dude,
this is definitely one to watch, dude. Yeah.
Look at the orcs. Look at the everythings. Look at all the races. Did they confirm how many playable factions? I don't know if they did.
I don't think so, but they said there's going to be a lot of missions. Fight through 70 plus epic campaign missions.
Yeah.
In the trailer, right?
4?
Was it 4 of them we saw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just reading through the Steam page to see if it says anything.
And the key art shows more than that
Yeah,
there's
so take charge of 4 unique Warhammer factions: the Space Marines, Orcs, Necrons, and the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Mechanicus.
Adeptus Mechanicus.
I think it's Mechanicus.
Mechanicus.
I don't know. Skeletal. Who knows? But it looks great, and I want to play that right now. So hurry up and release that effing game. That'd be great.
But, like, it's going to be like beefy campaign for all 4 factions. One of my favorite details was apparently on some of these, the top left, there's like some notifications, like mission log. I'm seeing on one of them, destroy all enemy headquarters. Your typical readout. But on the orcs, when they showed the orcs, it just says "Wog." Hang on, I'll send you a screenshot.
I wish it said
Space
Marines or something like that.
That's amazing.
Usually it's like mission stuff, but the top left is just
Let me see. Hold on, I'm watching for it. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, the orcs have one job, okay?
Yeah.
You don't give them a bunch of tasks. You have them do one thing.
Yep.
It's the thing they do.
And it's to yell "Wog." There it is, right up there. Oh man, look at these. Look at these units.
No, this
and I
looks
saw
like,
one of these. I saw one of their
screenshots.
One of their buildings got chucked and reassembled. This one right here. In the video, you could see it like fly from somewhere else and go shunk and then like come back to life to be a thing. I'm just gonna shit my pants until this comes out.
Yeah,
I
this
can't
looks
wait.
good.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Boy, you guys are so much more positive when you're not being promised a trailer.
I was just gonna say, look at us talking all glowingly about everything that.
But this
happened.
came out of nowhere. Nobody was like, "When are they going to release a Dawn of War 4?" We all just assumed, it's not happening or whatever. And
It's
I think
true.
Dawn of War 3 was kind of mixed.
Yeah, that's the one most people don't.
I heard so I skipped, and
Yeah.
so I was like, I thought maybe it might be over for Dawn of War, and I'm glad it's not. And it's new developers, and looks cool.
I think 40K is on the rise in general. So, we are getting what we're going to get. One crazy thing is Silksong got confirmed. I wrote October. It's actually not. It's September 4th. It's next week. Or no, 2 weeks.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it's like nothing.
2
So
weeks.
it went from it doesn't exist to 2 weeks.
Yeah, it went from it does, or we're doing this, then it went to it doesn't exist, it then went to this might come out someday, to hey, it's next week. like I don't know. There's a weird ass lifespan for a pre-release of a game, but they made it official at Gamescom. In 2 weeks, you can play this game. John is chomping at the bit. He can't wait to,
Why is everybody's bringing this up? This was a big topic in our Discord too, was my thoughts on Hollow Knight. I don't know. Look, I'm as confused as everybody else, okay? I don't know why I don't like Hollow Knight. I can tell you why I don't like many things in this world. I can't tell you why I don't like Hollow Knight. On paper, I 100% should.
Yeah.
I will say I look at this though. I think just like with Hollow Knight, there's a reason I bought it and played it. I look at this and I go, this looks like a game I'd love. And I do kind of want it. The only reason that I don't is because I didn't like Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
But I would be going into this with zero expectations. So maybe this will seem better to me. I don't know.
Maybe this will break free from whatever was the issue. I didn't. It's not that I didn't like it. I bounced just because it was so freaking hard. It was pretty unforgiving, especially early in that game, and it just felt like I was never getting rewarded for anything. So I never went back to it, and I just thought to myself, well, it's kind of like a Metroidvania Souls-like, and that's cool. Let people have that. That's great, but maybe not me. But maybe this new one is the one to play. I don't know. And then Bo, let's talk about He-Man. Jabbo saw a trailer. We didn't see it because we got there after they showed it, but the He-Man trailer, I've seen it since. What'd you think of this? It's basically a side-scrolling.
There's this whole genre of like nostalgia games that do the pixel art beat 'em up thing, and I think He-Man's a great one for it.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows if it'll be good or not, but like, I'm not even the biggest He-Man fan, but I just, again, get good 80s properties, make them a side scroller, beat them up, and I'm cool. Like, there's a Marvel Cosmic Invasion coming, that looks sick.
Yeah, that looks
awesome. I'm on board for this. Like, it's just colorful. Everyone looks like the 80s cartoon.
Yep.
It's like if they made Transformers look like Generation 1, like they're not like, oh, this is a modern interpretation of He-Man for 2025. It's like, no, they just look like this cartoon. I think it probably not that deep, but it just looks cool.
It's being published by a company called Limited Run, and I saw 2 or 3 comments on a Reddit thread where people are like, I hate when they do that with games. And someone's like, what do you mean do what with the games? He goes, only let you have it for a little while. And I said, no, that's a company name. That's a
company. Yeah. It's actually the company who's been handling a lot of collector's editions for games. Yeah. So like the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, its collector's edition is being done by Limited Run.
Also, they are a publisher in this. It's actually Bitmap Bureau.
Yeah, Bitmap's making it, but the point is company name, not a...
Yeah,
they're not putting it in the vault.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you'll be fine. What'd you think of this Long Gone?
Yeah, I just thought it was visually striking. I don't really know what it's about. Everyone with the jokes in the chat were, is this Last of Us 3? It definitely has that.
It's got that dark
vibe,
Joel beard even. Yeah.
It looks like a modern point and click, though. That's like King's Quest Space Quest for today's world.
I'm all in on it, by the way. I think
but it is like a zombie deal. It's usually not my favorite, but it's a point and click adventure. I just think what struck me about it was the art style. It's 2.5D, so like your guy looks like a 2D bitmap, right? Very well animated, strikingly animated, but like the actual environments are in 3D where like the camera moves around a bit. You can open up a desk drawer and you'll see items in 3 dimensions. So there's enough here that feels like I just like the overall presentation. So
yeah, I think this looks fantastic. This is a game this is a must play for me.
Yeah.
I like it.
This looks really cool.
Yeah. I like a good point and click. I don't know what the writing on this will be important, and I don't know if anyone writing it has got a pedigree or whatever. I guess I don't care if it's good, but
it just left a solid impression. I just felt like, I want to learn. I want to know more. Again, it's not my favorite genre. It's zombie survival. Good God, like we need another game with that. But like, I think the presentation looked very cool. So.
Nice. John, tell me about the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, adding some real trash to it, but you're happy that they are.
Yeah, they added 2 more games to the Legacy Collection, and they are absolute garbage, and I couldn't be more happy about it. They are putting Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero and Mortal Kombat Special Forces into the collection. These are games that are very hard to find any legal way to play. They're bad. These are very bad video games, but they are wonderful. Yeah. So this one of the other things they teased in this is they are, adding a bunch of accessibility type features in terms of just quality of life in some cases, and they even use Sub-Zero as an example because you'll be able to rewind. So like Sub-Zero is notorious for having terrible platforming in it because it's a 2D side scroller,
really bad.
And the platforming is really, really bad. The game gives you the ability to rewind. So, oops, I messed up that jump. I'll just rewind it and try again. Yeah. So it might make some of these terrible games a little more playable. But either way, again, I think if you're going to properly celebrate and showcase Mortal Kombat, you don't just go, well, here's the cream of the crop. Put it all in there.
Yep.
Put in Mythology Sub-Zero with all its bad cutscenes and all its real rough gameplay, and let people go to town on it. Let people find out, warts and all. And I'm so happy they put it in there. The only thing at this point that I feel like is missing that I wish was in there is Shaolin Monks, which is a legitimately very good game.
Yeah, that was actually good.
But I don't know. I don't remember what system that came out on. That might be a little too far forward for them. Maybe they'll do DLC in the future that includes something like that. But as of right now, I feel like this is a pretty robust and complete collection with these being included. So
PS2, I believe, is the Shaolin stuff. I believe.
Okay. Yeah. So
the original, the Mortal Kombat one we're looking at now was PS1, and it shows. Oof! Look at that.
Yeah, I think the most recent one is they are including Mortal Kombat 4 on this, that's N64 and is it PlayStation 2 era? I don't remember what.
I've been PS1.
I know it was on. I had it on N64, but I don't remember if it was PlayStation or PS2 for Mortal Kombat 4.
Yeah.
But either way, I guess they have said that PlayStation 2 games are a little tricky to emulate, so it could be that Shaolin Monks is just going to be too hard to include. But if they can find a way to do it as DLC or include it, that's the only thing at this point, unless they're going to go into the full-on PS2 era and include all of those. That's the only thing that really feels like it's missing from this at this point.
Yeah, PS3 notoriously hard to emulate is my understanding, so does not surprise me. Well, there you go. That's going to be exciting. I can't actually looking forward to that coming out. Steam reviews changed for our final story before we take our break. This is interesting. They've changed the reviews. Basically, this is how it went down. They changed how the review scores are displayed. So now it shows ratings based on your language instead of your global all review score. So if you're in English regions, you're going to just get English ratings. If you're in, I don't know, wherever else. You're in China, I don't know where else.
You're in non-America.
Yeah. You're in Germany, you're going to get the German reviewed cumulative scores. So that means Palworld is now overwhelmingly positive because on the English store, that's what it is. In other words, it's more representative of what you and your regional similarities, usually just speaking of language here, but similar regions. In the West, you have a higher score than maybe you do in Asia. I don't know if that's true in this case, but that game went from just very positive to overwhelmingly positive as soon as the changes rolled out. And there'll be a bunch of games like that. There'll be some that go lower because in the English store that we're all using, the North American store, it's going to show some games having a lower overall score because maybe it's not as popular here as it was in some other combined regions. So they're doing this because, let's see, they did a team update. It says here, is part of a broader effort to tailor review scores to specific cultural or regional player bases, helping address concerns like localization problems or region-specific feedback. So you might imagine a game that's in Japanese would refute. I don't know. I'm still showing this Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero shit.
Yeah.
You might see. Well, I know why I am. Look at this. Look what he just did. He's fighting a rock man. I mean, come on. He's fighting a rock man.
Look at it.
That's amazing.
Oh man, Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero is such a thing.
So bad, but I love it. Anyway, what was my point? My point is they want to make it more. Your reviews will be more culturally relevant to where you live. Is the idea. We'll see how it goes.
I think that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I actually like it because you get a lot of people that cry, something comes out and they go, oh, well, it was just people from a specific region that picked that.
Right.
And there's no real easy way to immediately parse that data. And that gives us a way to kind of refute that. Because I think, for whatever reason, I think this is a whole other can of worms we don't need to get into. Everybody has to be right about their opinion on something. And so when it's instead of just like, I didn't like that game, and someone goes, well, it's got good reviews, then it has to be defended as, oh, well, that was just reviews from people from such and such country or whatever. It's so stupid. We shouldn't even have to go down that road, but it's kind of nice that they're doing it. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the nice thing too is if, let's say you have a Japanese game and the Japanese crowd hate the VO in it so bad that it ruins their experience. But the localized version we got is really good versions of English VO.
Yeah.
You're going to get wildly different reactions, right? You're going to get them hating it and us liking it, or flip it the other way, same problem. So I actually think there can be a layer of this, and I bet this is where Bo goes. So let me try to see if I can guess this, Bo. Don't like the idea.
He grumbled, and you're trying to anticipate what he's grumbling about.
I'm going to try to interpret it, and then you can tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But the idea of separating us by cultural differences seems like not a very unifying thing to do. Like it keeps everybody in their little corners.
Yeah, I just don't think it actually solves the problem. I mean, the beauty of the internet, it's in both good and in bad ways, is it brings people of like minds together, right?
Yeah.
So I think the thinking here is like, let's say gotcha games. We always hear as a refrain is like, yeah, you're Western, like these are crazy big in China. They love it there. So like a Genshin Impact might be like overwhelmingly positive in China and it's like mixed in NA, right? But like if I like it, then my game is mixed here. Like I'm not building a community.
You have shit taste for an American. Get with your show a little country pride, goddamn.
But it's like it's a community thing. You know what I mean? Like it's just like, well, why is my review lumped in with this? I want to hang out with my like-minded people, or so that's why it's like we shouldn't parse by country. We should just have an aggregate of everybody. Like so that's sort of how you tell how many people like a thing. So now if it's just, let's say I'm in some country with bad taste about these things that don't correspond with mine. Pick any country. I'm not specific.
So you say like it's Canada. Let's say it's Canada, and you like a certain thing that most of your countrymen don't.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna.
Because when you like a game, you want it to like be reflected well, right? You don't want to be like, this is my favorite game and it's a mixed game. Like think about how it affected us with Heroes of the Storm, right? It didn't stop us from playing, but like IGN give it a 6.5, and people would bag on the game all the time, even though they were wrong. I don't know how it helps to parse it by country. like it, I'm just like, what does this what does this actually help? Like now I have less information to work with.
I mean, I think Scott nailed it with what he said. Like if there is a localization difference that is reflected in your region, I think that helps a great deal to know that, hey, there's something in your region that might make it to where you don't like it. We've already established from a lot of talk about Steam reviews and review bombing and all of that you shouldn't just look at the score and go, I now know everything I need to know about this game. It should immediately quantify a why and then go look at the reviews. And we do that on the show. We go, oh, this is getting a weird review. What is it? We click it, and then it's like, oh, it's because it has some anti-cheat, or it's because it has some, technical issue or something like that. It should give you a question to seek out. It shouldn't be the be-all, end-all of like, oh, it's mixed. Well, this is a mixed game, and I'm going to walk away from it and ask no further questions.
But like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, okay, so we parse it by countries, but we should be parsing it further. Like I'm saying, like I don't know that it's really that effective in communicating it.
It may not be, but here's a
giant mass of people, right?
Maybe the answer.
Yes, it addresses some of the issues that John said.
Yeah,
but it won't address some other issues where like this weird JRPG is not a hit with JRPG fans, but non-JRPG people love this game. Can we parse the reviews that way too, please? So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would actually argue that they haven't gone far enough. They have all the data. Give us some drop downs, some click boxes, whatever, to filter what we want. So if I come to it and go, just show me North American reviews, great, do that. Give me that data. I want to see worldwide reviews. Give me that. Let me default one of those or not and reset it every time. I don't actually care that much. Let me control the data. And then I actually think it's interesting to go, wow, it's doing really well here, but in South America, they freaking hate it. I wonder what that's about. Like, it's interesting to me.
Yeah, the data analysis side of me is like, I would love to have more control over this. And honestly, I wish they would. I wish there was like a toggle where, you see it and then you can just click a thing and be like, all right, but show me globally what it is instead of just by region. I don't mind the default being by region, but I'd love to be able to, quickly get that metric flipped. And they have tags on things, so I feel like I personally, and I don't know what the Steam backend is like, I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm immediately curious if like there's an RPG, what do RPG players, what do fans of this genre think of this game?
Yeah, I feel like this is gonna backfire spectacularly, because here's the thing about review bombing. Now you've increased your probability of review bombs. So if you're a press site and you want salacious material, now instead of having it globally be review bombed, all you need is one country to review bomb it, and it's already in the article as a review bombed game. This is not a good idea. If they're trying to solve review bombing, they're exponentially increasing the odds through which a game could be review bombed, because now it doesn't have to be review bombed everywhere for a clickbait site to go, you never believe what they think of GTA 6 in France.
This is the problem.
Wipe their ass with it.
No matter what they do to change the review system, someone somewhere goes, I'm going to break this. Like that's the way of it.
That too.
So
sure.
I would rather get more data that I can fiddle with and let the outliers pop and then chill than I would not having the data. Like I get what you're saying, and I think you're right.
Yeah, but again, you're more thoughtful than most. I think you would just be happy with analytics, right? Like,
yeah, I would be.
Like, I would love to see some data. Like, please present me with a PDF breaking things down. We often break those things down on the show.
Yeah,
but I don't think that's what this is. I think Steam is a business, and I think when you as a video game developer are like, sweet, we want to put our game on a store, and then the customers can come and deface essentially your marketing material with their stinky review bombs or their mixed. Even mixed is kind of a death knell, right? You look at a game and it's mixed and you go, ooh.
Yeah, it's orange.
So this feels like trying to mitigate game developers' concerns about having their store pages defaced with.
Yeah.
Here's my hot take. Because I understand this is not going to be a popular one.
Hot take.
I think the issue is trying to fight against review bombs because I don't think there's anything wrong with review bombs. I think I think it's solving a problem that doesn't exist. If people are review bombing your game, there is a problem with an audience. Now, whether you agree with that audience, whether you think what they're upset about is valid or not, that can be debated till the end of time. But if you have enough people leaving a review to have a major impact on your review score, then you have done something to upset a group of people. Again, valid or otherwise. Yeah. There is something there, and that doesn't become invalid just because you don't like the opinion.
Yeah. That's true, but if somebody...
As the business... sorry, Scott, I'm just interrupting, but as the business, you could be like, yeah, the game's shit. I still want to sell it. Like, I don't care.
Sure, I get why businesses would hate it. Yeah, I get why businesses would fight against it, but I don't think it's a problem easily solved. And my stance on it is, I don't think it's a problem that needs solving. I'm not a business. I'm not trying to sell a game.
I agree with you.
Here's let me add this to the pie. If I've got a game I made and I worked on it for 6 years, and I decided 6 years ago I was going to have a female protagonist. And it turns out that a group of roving shit posters have decided that anything that has a girl protagonist in it is going to get review bombed, and they're going to call it woke trash all day and all night.
Yeah.
That's John's right that it does happen, but John's right that there's a problem. The problem is an audience, and the audience being dicks. But I gotta think there's a better way for that indie developer not to get screwed because of culture wars.
There's a subreddit that purposely goes around to try and harm, because they have a belief system, and so they look at it and they want to just You're not going to get your customer base, and now a bunch of people have review bombed it. And because we don't sell games in stores, that is essentially your storefront. You go to Steam to look at the game, and there's imagine going into Walmart and everyone can mark "this game sucks" stickers on all the boxes. You as someone who didn't participate in that or looking to buy a game are not going to ignore. You might not ignore those defacements on your product. Yeah. But I know that we don't care. Like, we like it this way, and the game developers suck it. But
I don't feel that way. I don't want them to feel bad. I want them to do good.
I don't mean suck it. I mean, suck it up. Like, we like reviews on our things. We don't want a bunch of fake AI reviews that are like, this game is great. We hate that.
Or the Switch stores always piss me off, including the Switch 2s, because they don't do reviews at all. I have no. But
we also know that people like reviewing is like, everyone can provide their feedback, but reviewing is a little more esoteric and a little bit more of a, there's no qualifications for it, but we know that's why people come to us, because they trust one or more of us to provide feedback in a meaningful way. But most people are not going to do that. They'll be like, woke trash girl protagonist. Yuck. Yeah. She doesn't look like a real girl. She looks like, this is supposed to be a fantasy where the girl is hot. Why is it not hot?
Yeah.
And then that's your review, and that's really unfair, I think. A lot of us do think. So you are kind of gaslit when you're just like, should I buy this game? It's bad, and you read a few reviews and you're just like, oh, everyone just hates it because of this political reason or whatever. and it still affects buying decisions. I think as a developer, I would hate to have those black marks all over my store and all that. I would consider it defacement if I was the business owner.
Yeah.
Right? So
Well,
I don't know how you reconcile it, except we kind of still want to have reviews. But they do have, like, they did implement a method when there's a massive amount in a short period of time that they discount those or shadow ban them, which is a good move, which makes that there's ways to identify it. I just think parceling it out by countries and demographics is not the way to go.
Another point made well in the chat. Where is it? Who said it? Kiwagazaganagi said,
Yeah.
I imagine it might make it harder to sell in countries with little to no reviews. Yeah, I don't know how they handle that.
Yeah, if the game isn't popular in a specific region, you might not be getting the best information. I don't know how they divide it out, though.
Yeah, I don't
like
either.
how big or small are they limiting that scope?
Yeah, you could say oceanic.
Is it all of Europe? Is
Right.
it like how are they dividing it?
So like New Zealand, Australia, these islands, the whole oceanic thing probably is its own space. I doubt they're saying, "Hey, New Zealand, you got your own store, review away." Like, I don't think that's a thing.
Marzipan says there's a review number minimum before the new system kicks in. So that sounds like that might be
per game.
a good
That's a per game
way
thing.
if that's the case. I
Oh,
don't
so
know.
if it's a tiny global game and has 20 reviews, everyone
You're
around the
getting
world will see the 20
global.
reviews. But if it has 100,000 reviews, it's only going to show you localized reviews.
Yeah, it makes sense. Data thresholds make sense. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. I just think more data is good. I just like knowing things,
Yeah. But, I mean, sure. If it's like, if you get both, then I think that's different. Like, I think, you go like in your region, people didn't like it, but globally people love it. I think that would be the way to go, is both. Not.
Yeah, I agree. I think we are
I don't
full
care
agreement.
about what people in Ottawa think about Grand Theft Auto.
Hey guys, this game sucks, eh? Anyways, gotta go make a piss jug or whatever you talk like.
Yeah, you nailed it. That's Ottawa in a nutshell. You got it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I kind of just wish they'd give us more ways to filter our stuff, not one way. So that would be my only request.
Again, the filtering, all that. I mean, realistically, the way I use it is I just look at the top right. What's the summary? Very positive. Okay, I might read a review or two, and I'm done.
Yeah. You can also VPN into other regions just for fun to see what they're doing, but that's a pain in the ass. Not everybody's
That's a level of nerd I'm not going to achieve.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I don't want to put in that much work for a Steam review. You're already, for a lot of people, asking too much to say, click that and find out why they said it.
Yeah.
That's already a bridge too far for some.
I agree.
So
I think my biggest complaint is Nintendo and Sony to some degree. They don't give you any indication what players think of a game in their stores. I hate that. I need something.
I think people need to be responsible for the reviews. I get why game developers would hate it. I'm not a game developer. I'm not going to speak for them, but I get the logic behind it. But if you go to something and it says mostly negative and you thought, well, that looked really good, if you aren't willing to click and look and see that people are like, woke game, and go, oh, well, I don't care about that, I'll give it a chance, then you know what, you deserve what you get. Like put in the effort if you want the information. You either want the information or you don't.
Yeah,
so,
that's a fair point.
I just feel like, I get why game developers would feel one way. I'm not one. I'm a consumer, and that's my approach to it.
We might also pay more attention because of what we do than the average I would also want to know the analytics on the average customer and how much time they actually spend considering the tools and using them.
Yeah.
Like we do a show, so I want to get a vibe check on everything I talk about, but if I wasn't doing a podcast, would I care as much about a vibe check? If I just see, the marketing of the game looks cool, I have disposable income, I'll just buy it.
Yeah.
People say it sucks, I don't care, but whatever.
I kind of like to know what Henry from Deliverance thinks.
What is going?
He might have an opinion. That's all
He's
I'm
in the
saying.
stockade.
Yeah, he's being,
that's from the start of the game. Yeah, they get drunk and cause trouble.
I'll bet he'd have opinions on this. Maybe even this guy over here. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he totally does.
All right. On that note, we're taking a break. When we come back, we will spend additional time discussing more things, including, that's not the right one, including the Dear Martha. We're going to get back into it. We're going to see where the score is, see who's going to win what, talk about the games we played, and more. Please stay tuned. All right. Hey, we're back, everybody. And that means Dear Martha time. There was a guy in YouTube last week that said the only thing worse than Brian Ibbett singing songs on Film Sack is this Dear Martha shit or something like that. And to that we say, get ready, buddy. We got another one right now.
I think the problem is, I think this person masked off a little too hard for this criticism, because look who they decided to drag. They decided not just to drag me, which is fine. There's plenty to drag there. They decided to drag Brian Ibbett, who's a wonderful human being.
Agree.
Yeah.
But what do we have in common? This guy clearly hates bald people. He has an agenda. Specifically bald people with goatees.
Yeah.
And honestly, our president of our club, Stone Cold Steve Austin, will not stand for this, okay?
No.
Like, you take it up with him, because he says, I get to read a Dear Martha, Brian Ibbett gets to sing, and he gets to stun people.
That's right.
That's the rules.
That's the rules. That's the bald code or something. Well, that's awesome. In light of this great news that we have that you will continue on, we're going to go ahead and do one right now. John, let's do the Dear Martha. Tell us where we're at. What are we doing, and what's the score?
Right now, the score is Scott with 3.5 points. Bo with 3 points.
Okay.
Well, it was almost a dead heat. Scott has pulled ahead a little bit. Guys, this is an easy one. Okay. I know I said that last week, and we only got a 0.5 point out of it.
Yeah.
Half a point. That's what they call it in the Imperial world.
Yeah. The parlance of our time. Sure.
But I think you guys can get this one. I believe in you. Okay.
All right. I believe in us too. I think we're actually going to do okay. So, Bo, are you feeling it? You good? You ready for this?
No, not at all.
If this is your first time, I'm going to read a Dear Martha letter. Somewhere in the letter is a factual flaw. I'm actually really worried. I think I might get a lot of actuallys to me on this one, and we'll see how it goes.
All right, let's find out together.
My dearest Martha, I've been trying to think of something relevant to the week's activities that isn't Final Fantasy XII, because while I would much rather write about it, I think we'd also just have to assume that neither Bo or Scott would figure out the error, and that would be it. So let's talk about World of Warcraft cinematics. The OG World of Warcraft cinematic, known as Seasons of War, debuted at E3 in 2004. Now, I will tell you that this is weirdly a really hard fact to verify. So if it's wrong, please let me know, and please lend your knowledge to Wikipedia or something, because I thought this topic was going to be easy, and I'm already 30 minutes down a rabbit hole here. Anyway, it's the cinematic we all associate with vanilla World of Warcraft, the one that opens with the maps before transitioning to the dwarf and the bear in the snow. The cinematic introduced us to a cadre of characters to tease what we might be doing in the game itself, like a dwarf hunter, a night elf druid, an undead warlock, and a tauren shaman, to name a few. Some of these would even return in future cinematics, like the Orc Warrior, who would take a few too many arrows in the Burning Crusade trailer before being resurrected by a Blood Elf priestess. What's interesting is that between these two trailers, only one character featured in them is an actual lore character in World of Warcraft, which is Vindicator Murad, a Draenei paladin who blesses himself and later smacks the shit out of some orcs. What most people do not know, and the Cinematics tab in the WoW client will not show you, is that there is actually an even more original trailer cinematic that was shown at the European Computer Trade Show in 2001. This trailer teased a really rough version of what we'd eventually see in the first cinematic, showing us a very early look at Orgrimmar, a tauren, some undead, a human that can't decide if he's Prot or Fury Spect, and a dragon that makes Final Fantasy dragons say, "See, it's not that easy, is it?" Anyway, I spent more time on this letter now than I wanted to on my birthday, so I'll leave you with this. This world is a prison, as said in Shadowlands cinematic. Yours in this expansion, and at least the cinematic for the next, Void Toy 69.
Okay, I like it. I like where we've gone
Jeez,
entirely
what's a
here.
Void Toy?
Void Toy. Ugh. Is wrapped in zombie paper. Anyway, hey, John, paste that in there, first of all.
I did. It's in there.
Second of all, a big belated happy birthday to John Jagger, everybody. Turned the ripe old age of something yesterday.
Happy birthday.
We're not going to get into ages.
What age?
I said ripe old age is something. That's all we say.
Oh, okay. All right.
We don't want to spill all the beans, right?
It is.
Just
it
know
is
that
something.
Another turn around the sun or whatever.
We don't want to spill all the beans or admit we don't know.
So happy birthday. I hope somebody did something real nice for you. Second of all, let's do this. All right. I actually think I heard something early that was a bit of a problem. And let's see if I can find it. Okay. I was misled. Maybe that's right.
Was I perhaps misled?
Wait. And did you say, you didn't say, maybe that's what threw me as I put a month in my head. You didn't say when because E3 would have been like June that year.
Yeah.
It seems so late in the game. The year before.
I just said 2004 though. E3 2004.
Yeah. And part of me wants to say it was 03, but I don't. I think maybe that's not it. So I'm not raising my hand on that. Not that we have limited hand raises, right? We can do as many as we want.
No, you can ding in whenever you want.
All right, I'll ding that one just to clear it up.
Okay, ding. Is
Ding.
that Scott dinging?
That's me dinging in.
Yes,
Yep,
Scott.
that's me.
What is your what is wrong?
Sorry. Let me reiterate. Seasons of War debuted at E3 of 2003, not 04.
As far as I can tell,
Yeah.
and I wasn't lying. This isn't the flaw. It is shockingly hard to find out when this trailer got posted.
Yeah.
I looked so many places, and the best information I can find is that it debuted at E3 in 2004.
Okay. All right. All the classes you named are correct. I'm not doing that. Bo, anything yet?
No, man. Like I didn't write. I didn't see that first trailer, that old original one. I'm like,
This is the first time I had seen it too. It was crazy. I was trying to find out information about the Seasons of War one, and I found it. I thought, this is wild and crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna go look it up after for sure. Because if the errors in there, I won't be able to identify it because I just haven't seen it, so I don't know. The world is a prison is definitely a Shadowlands thing. So that.
Yeah, but did she say? No, it's not. That's it. Ding. That was in.
Yes, Scott?
that was when they were fighting each other. Azeroth. What is it?
You're saying, well, I shouldn't help you.
What's the name of the damn expansion?
It's
Battle for
Battle for Azeroth, because that's her toward the end of that yelling it real loud, and all the horde people went, shit, she's kind of a bitch, and then she left and zipped out after she killed what's his orc.
Nope.
Shit.
This is a Shadowlands cinematic.
It's definitely Shadowlands. I think that's how she opens it.
What did she say? You're all something, she said.
You're all dick bags, she said.
Yeah, she yelled something like it was one of the story trailers where you're all gonna die or something like that. You're all doomed.
This whole world is bad. And then she looked around, and the undead were like, "What are you doing, sister?" And she left. All right. Well, then that was sorry. I got a little excited there.
Okay, so going through OG Warcraft Cinematic Notes Season of War, I think that's probably what it's called. Weirdly hard to verify. Blah 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 blah.
Scott, Chad is asking for the text.
Oh,
and
sorry, everybody.
They probably need it because they have not gotten it so far.
Okay, so they're struggling as well.
I do think the class and race class listed for the Vanilla WoW cinematic is correct.
I actually thought this one was too easy. I've got to really rein this in.
Okay.
Because I actually had a harder version of this, and I was like, let me make it even a little easier. This is the easier version of what I thought was an easy one to begin with.
All right, I got a question about this down
Oh,
here.
I'll ding in. Beep.
Oh,
Yep. Go
You
ahead.
signed it yours in this expansion and at least the cinematic for the next. You're not. You just said you're not playing this expansion.
Fair, but not it. I
Okay,
usually
okay,
let
I know. It was a
the
joke.
intro and the exit be ridiculous.
all right.
so-
I think this European Trade Show 2001 thing is some horse shit.
Nope. That's apparently where that trailer debuted. I had to look up
kidding?
what, because they just listed it as ECTS, and I was like, I don't even know what that is.
That's insane to me.
You should look up the trailer. It's wild.
Oh, I've seen it, and it looks crazy, but I thought it was way later than that. Because they built 3 and this concurrently.
Oh, I got it. Ding, 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 ding,
Oh,
ding, ding.
what is
Yep,
it?
Bo, go ahead.
Frickin' ding. You're talking about the Burning Crusade cinematic, and you say the only actual lower character is Vindicator Marad when freaking Illidan is in that trailer.
Oh,
Bo, 100%. No half
damn
point
it.
here.
Jeez.
Bo going up to 4 points. He knows that you are not prepared. Illidan,
Yeah, frick.
Storm Rage himself, is in the Burning Crusade
I'm
trailer.
embarrassed it took that long. Jeez. That's
here, I'll do Illidan just so we can have him here. Let's see. Yeah, okay. That doesn't look like Illidan at
Liam
all.
Illidan O'Brien himself.
I can't
So
draw.
that's what I mean.
Prepare.
The original version of this was I said Illidan was in it and that he was the only lore character, and you were going to have to say no, Marad was. And I was like, that's a little too hard. Let's
Yeah.
swap it. I'll tell you Marad was in there, and you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It
may have
was
nailed
harder
it.
for me to remember Marad when I finally saw the word only and went, what? Like my brain finally like came online.
Yeah, Bo.
I'm like-
Bo is his scars. He got it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Cheapers creepers.
What does that make
It was
the
a good one
score?
though. Yeah.
What does that make
You're
the
right,
score?
Current
that-
score is Scott 3.5 points, Bo 4 points.
Jeez.
Scott, you are not prepared for my find the flaw.
That was really good. I was also digging around the Marad thing, but I don't know why my brain didn't go to Illidan. That's so
It's
stupid.
because it's like if it's not presented to you, it's got to jump in your head. It was like omission, right?
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
And he's
the only was very important, right? He said,
who, and
only
isn't
character.
the skull of the orc shaman guy?
Wait a minute. Are you going to argue that Gul'dan was present in that trailer?
Because he's got a skull in his hand, and it's like, hey, there's Gul'dan. That's funny. All right, well done. That was awesome. Maybe one of my favorites, even though I lost. That was awesome.
Toy
All right,
69.
let's get to the games we played. I checked back in on a game that I got an early access a long time ago before it was even like wish listable on Steam, and I don't know. I cannot remember why. I think maybe I have a friend at Ubisoft who's not there anymore. I don't know what it was, something like that. But on this show some time ago, I said, "No, I don't know when this is coming out, but."
I know. I remember you talking about this, which is why when this game, let's say the name.
It's
so
called
people-
The Rogue Prince of Persia, and I'll say it again after I'm done talking about it for those who would like us to talk more about the names. They don't want to rely just on grandma. All
It's
right.
not the Rouge Prince of Persia.
It is not the Rouge or the Rugo or the Rog Prince of Persia, although it may run on the Rog. I don't know.
But I saw this
Roguelike.
come out and I was like, Scott talked about this ages ago. What is it just now coming out for? And it's because, yeah, you did. You talked about it
I did
a long time
and played
ago.
it and was impressed, but it was early, and I was like, all right, well, I'll return to this. And then I'll be honest, it just kind of went down my list. I forgot. It hadn't shown up. There was no release yet. And I just sort of forgot about the thing. And this is really good. Like the Rogue Prince of Persia is, as you may guess from the name, a roguelike. It is Prince of Persia. It is an Ubisoft published title, although they didn't develop it. Somebody else did, and they, published it or whatever. This has nothing to do with their other side-scrolling kind of Metroidvania game, which I forgot the full name of. This is not that. This uses like a cel-shaded, kind of cool, cartoony style, really colorful style of art. And the game is basically Dead Cells in, thankfully, a bunch of the right ways. I love Dead Cells, huge fan of that game, and a lot of its DLC. This game structurally is basically Dead Cells with a bunch of caveats or differences. Mainly, there's some traversal stuff you could never do in Dead Cells, like there are these bars you can jump on all the time. They kind of remind me of the 3D games back in the I guess that would have been the 06, 07 or whatever, the Sands of Time game. Those are a bunch of those there for you to swing on, jump on, traverse on, that sort of thing. And it is so cool. It's basically Dead Cells with a bunch of better parkour abilities. And the core loop is this procedurally generated levels. You fight enemies, you navigate traps, you die, you reset the run, but you retain your progression. You invest in things that make you stronger next time. Like all that stuff is very Dead Cells-like. But the emphasis on parkour, the wall running, the vaulting, there's climbing, fluid acrobatic type stuff, are pretty central to how you traverse the game. And timed parkour gives you bonuses. It's all very visual how you do it, and it's fun in its own right, even along with the rest of the game. The combat is a mix of melee and ranged weapons, a lot like Dead Cells. And attacks can chain with movement, so a wall kick into a strike, certain forward momentum stuff. If you strike at the right time, you can do a little bit more damage. You have enemies that vary, different size enemies, different kinds of enemies. I haven't seen too much where it's like, I haven't really seen the variety yet because I've only been in the 1.5 biomes here. This desert thing you're looking at now and some underground stuff. And the range weapons, for example, are recharged with melee moves. So if I get a bow, and they drop all the time, so you get better ones all throughout your run. But the bow, for me to recharge bow slots or arrows or whatever, I have to, kill dudes with my sword, and then I get it back. It works just fine because you're kind of mixing up your combat. There are hidden areas and stuff like that. There's story. The story is mostly you trying to figure out why you keep getting sent back to this camp, and ultimately keep losing and have to, and they really play into that. Like it's part of the story that you keep dying and that you have to come back and you got a little more to go with next time. And you can kick boulders into their face. That's a nice thing. I forgot to mention that.
That's good. That's fun.
Yeah, I like that. Level shift and layout. Enemy placement is always different. Everyone's different, so lots of variety in that regard. You reach the end of the run by mastering traversal and combat as efficiently as possible, and you get permanent upgrades for future attempts. That should make sense to any roguelike fans out there. Graphics are a high point for me. They really make it feel like a certain time and place. It's not afraid to be a little funny too in the dialogue. It's not super serious or self-serious. And I don't know, to sum it up, I think this might be the best thing with Ubisoft's name on it this year or last year or maybe more years. I don't know. Like it's hard for me to pinpoint why this felt so good. But they've nailed the stuff that made Dead Cells great is all here, and just a ton more on top of it about how you get around and how you upgrade and really leaning into the aesthetic of ancient Persia and what made even the original Prince of Persia so unique in that way, that feel of the thing, the vibes of that place. This is full of that kind of stuff. And I'm finding it real good, super satisfying, and apparently Steam users as well. It's getting really good reviews, and I think it deserves it. So, gonna big thumbs up, highly recommend The Rogue Prince of Persia, out now after about a year of having it in my library and forgetting to talk about it. It's good. It's real good. Had a real couldn't put it down problem with it yesterday. I was playing on my Steam Deck. Oh, it's also Steam Deck verified, runs great on there. Runs great on PC, no issues like that. So, and I think it's on everything, Switch, the PS5, Xbox. I think everything got it this week. So, pick your poison and play the game. Then today, I only got enough time to play a bunch of this today. I played a game that came out, and all the talk around it was, hey, we have the next Baltro, everybody. The next big weird indie that everybody...
saw that article.
Did you see that one? Yeah. I'm not sure that it's that yet. It might be. It might even be more for people who didn't like Baltro or didn't want to play a card game, a.k.a. Bo Schwartz.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know for sure, but...
next Baltro, skip.
Oh man, you're gonna be sad you said that because this is pretty rad. Let me pull it up here.
No, I'm just joking. I mean, I meant that about Baltro. I just mean if you say that for me, that's like, okay, I'm
just
gonna pass.
Just a big turn off.
I just assume they say that because that's how they like to generate buzz. So,
well, here's a game I'll give you a little buzz on, and I think the hype is real. The game's only $4.49, so it's kind of dumb cheap. maybe too cheap. And this is published by your Vampire Survivors guy that he has all this money now. He's doing some publishing. So it's not him developing it or his little new company developing it. They're publishing for whoever made this. It looks like it's Donutsar, whatever.
Donutsor.
And Panda or Pandy, Pansel, whatever that is.
Ponkle.
I was really close. My eyes are getting bad. That's the developer, or that's the publisher, and that's your Vampire Survivors new publishing company. Anyway, so there's a little pedigree there of like, game sees game and makes it, decides to publish it or whatever. I should get to the name. The game is called Kill the Brickman. And if that doesn't have you on the edge of your seat, well,
that is I do like that name.
It's a wonderful name.
I saw it and I was like, what is this? So it does get your attention.
And that art up there with the big square heads and stuff, it's freaking great. Here's the deal. This one's a weird one. Here's the core loop of it. You face a giant grid of bricks. All right. Some of them have faces on it. They are the Brickmen. Mm-hmm. And they're just making various expressions. And they're at various stages of angry or aggressive or chill or sad or whatever. They're just all up there. And they have different hit points depending on how they're feeling. This is really weird.
So far, accurate to a human being.
Yeah, this is a weird thing to describe. Anyway, your goal is to shoot the Brickmen dead before they regenerate or retaliate. And it's turn-based, so you have this gun. It's just a revolver. And you get bullets for it. You upgrade those bullets. They're different kinds of bullets. As best I can tell, and I'm not far enough to maybe see anything else, but there's like 3 kinds. Corrosive bullets, extremely bouncy bullets, which means lots of repeating, like what's a game with a lot of repeating, like Breakout, where you send a ball up and it bounces forever, killing a lot of stuff. You get real lucky with a shot or whatever. There's balls. Yeah. There are bullets that are good at that. They don't have infinite bouncing. None of them do, but those have more. And then the third category is explosive. And those are the red ones. And then there's these weird variations of each. It's like different specs the different bullets will have for different damage types, different levels of corrosiveness, this sort of thing. And the whole goal is to take these bullets and aim them in the best way possible, almost like Bubble Bobble style, or Puzzle Bobble, rather, or Bust a Move. And you got to shoot them up, get them right in the right thing. And if you get a really great angle, a little bit of peggle maybe, but it's not peggle in that it's like random, like, boop, there it goes. There is a level of skill of like trying to angle your stuff. And then your goal is to do whatever the goal at the top is. So it might say you need to kill
the Brickmen in the face.
Yeah, you need to kill 5 Brickmen and 2 of these other guys. And then later maybe there's a boss. And the boss is usually like 8 cubes all made up and to look like a dude who's various. There's a ninja I fought once. Another one was like a guy with a keyboard. It was like fighting you with a keyboard. And they're like boss characters. And they all have hit points. And you can tab on keyboard, I think it is. And on controller, it's like left trigger. It'll tell you what all their hit points are ahead of time. So you kind of make some strategies. So the bullets you've purchased to fill your gun with, you decided that before this match. You said, I want 4 explosives. I want 1 really explosive one, and I want that to go into the gun that I have or the chamber that I have that has got a big bonus to damage. And the other one's just kind of normal damage, so the bullets just do whatever they do. And then you kind of strategically just think about, all right, well, I know what I got to fight here, so let's fill my gun up with the best possible options. And then this combination of strategy and luck kicks in, and all this physics-based destruction happens. And the goal is once you've done it, you get a bunch of bonus gold. You spend that gold or that money on additional bullets, new upgrades, relics, basically, for each run. And then you do like a 10, well, at least what I played so far, there were 10 rounds that I had to beat to unlock the next set. And I did that before the show and wanted to keep going, but we had a show. So I stopped.
Okay, yeah.
But I really wanted to keep going. Sometimes the enemies will heal. Sometimes they'll shoot you. Sometimes you have limited health no matter what. So you're always trying to, not get hurt. And it's turn-based. So you'll know if something's going to shoot you the next turn. So you want to maybe focus on the guys that are going to shoot you next, because once they're dead, they won't shoot. But if you leave them alive after your bullets are out, it's their turn and they'll shoot you. And now it's back to you. You pick your bullets. You decide what order you want them in, where they are in the chamber, and then hit the play button and you're off to do it again. It can get really chaotic, as you can see in this video. Very satisfying watching all this crap blow up. And when you get real lucky with some of your shots, there's no better feeling in the world. And as you advance, you get better bullets, relics. The game gets harder, obviously. The Brickmen get better hit points. And winning runs unlocks more stuff. There's an endless mode, best I can tell. I got to the end that said you want to keep going. And I couldn't because I had to come here. It sounds like I'm complaining.
He said resentfully.
Yeah, I don't
had
mean
to
it
go
that
do
way.
a stupid show.
But for under $5, this is rad. It's so
Seems
cool,
cool.
guys. I love this game. I think its Steam Deck compatibility is unknown, but there's no way this doesn't work. It's just I played it with controller today. It was fine. Like if it doesn't work on there, I'm sure it will in no time. See if it's got any reviews yet. Looks like a bunch. Some people don't like the RNG. That doesn't surprise me. There's only 8 reviews. I think it's one of those games. You know, I like these games where it's mechanically weird. Like I'm doing slot machines, or I'm doing a claw machine, or whatever. But it's like an RPG with these weird play mechanics. I love that kind of shit. Huge fan. Yeah. So big thumbs up for Brickman as well. For it's not called Brickman.
Kill the Brickman.
Kill the Brickman.
Kill the Brickman.
And all my other time was spent in Shapes 2 with a Z. All right? Lots more time in there. That's just the way of it. That game's awesome. Can't stop. I love that game. Those claws run deep. But John will be happy about this. I have it ready to launch a proper run of Expedition 33. Claire Obscure, to be specific.
Oh, my gosh.
We had a funny moment on TMS, by the way, because somebody was telling Brian, I think you'd really like Expedition 33. And he goes, yeah, maybe I'll get it. He goes, what's that other game that you keep telling me to play? It's like Claire something. He goes, no, that's the same game. It made us laugh. But I've got it in launch position. I'm going to play that thing. I'm going to let Tsushima burn just a little bit. All right? Because I'm starting to feel the pressure that this clear leader for Game of the Year, I can't just not know at the end of or only have 2 hours of playtime to give my opinion. That's dumb. So I'm going to play it for real this time.
All right.
So
I'm curious to see what you think of it.
More next week.
It'll be exciting.
More next week. Tsushima continues to burn. All right, John, what'd you play? What'd you get up to?
I did not get up to much. I got to be honest. Look, a crime has been committed. I didn't commit this crime, but I was a victim of it. And that is how underrated Final Fantasy XII is. I feel like this game has not been talked about enough. Everybody puts their best of Final Fantasy list together. Here it comes, another list, and I never hear about this game. I feel like it is criminally underrated based on how much I'm enjoying it. And I'm not saying this needs to be everybody's favorite. I'm not saying this has to be everybody's cup of tea. But based on how much fun I'm having with it and how much I'm enjoying this game, I'm shocked that it doesn't get talked about more is the big thing. Because this is Final Fantasy kind of firing on all cylinders for me. Like, I love the art. I love the world. It has a tremendous feeling of this open world that you're moving around in with different places. Like, sometimes a lot of Final Fantasies go the route of like, oh, it's like a road trip, we're going through this world. And sometimes it doesn't really feel like it's much of a world you're going through. This doesn't. Like, all the biomes feel very distinct, and it feels like a real world. It's got a very interesting political story. The characters are all fantastic. Like, I know as a kid going into it, I was like, this is a bunch of just people and a bunny lady. Like, how good is the roster gonna be? And it turns out really good. It turns out all the characters are really good. And I even think, one of the biggest complaints about this game deals with the main character, Vaughn, because he's the least interesting character of the bunch. And I actually think that Vaughn has his place. He's annoying, like, no doubt about it. But it's a story about these people that are impacted by war and their role and their status, whether that is somebody who is supposed to be a leader, whether that's somebody who used to have honor and has had it stripped away, or somebody who has been living life supposedly free of consequence as a sky pirate, and his sexy Chewbacca partner. You know, like they all have these responsible places and a fight for this world and a stake in this world in one way or another. But Vaughn and Pinello represent like this, like the youthful innocence of what you're fighting for, right? That's something that you always want to show in a narrative is like, what are we fighting for? What are we going through this hardship for? We're going through the hardship for these characters. In addition to they're also the kind of dumb character that we can explain complicated things to, so that there's a reason that we waste dialogue on here's what's going on. Although surprisingly, the game doesn't do that very often. They have a character they can do that for, but the game really is just like, hey, you're along and you'll figure it out. You'll figure out the country names and what their factions are and all of that along the way. But I really love it. And now a big part of it is also this version, the fact that you can put it on fast forward for when you're just grinding through places, or oops, I went down the wrong hall and I want to go back the way I came. Slap on fast forward and jet down that hall at a rocket's pace. Feels really good in an RPG to be able to do. That's something that's only in this version of the game. If you played it originally, it wasn't there. I think the job system feels really, really good, where you pick 2 jobs for each of your characters. That wasn't in the original version of the game. And so there is a lot of these things that maybe if you only played the game back when it was on PS2, you have a different opinion from what I'm having now, but I just can't stop playing it. Whether that's like just going out and doing hunts, whether that's grinding levels or going through dungeons proper, it really has this, like, I don't even know what to compare it to. I've had a couple people say it's the best Dragon Age Origins game since Dragon Age Origins, and there is a little bit of that DNA there. If you liked that game, there are elements of that, because it is, you do set up gambits, which are, you know, kind of AI instructions, but it is sort of like this pause and you can issue individual commands, but otherwise it's going to be an active RPG battles type system. It's really good. It's shockingly good, and I'm having a great time with it. I do think I'm going to finish it, probably not this week. I've probably got a couple more weeks of it, which is going to be extra funny, because the joke was, can I beat Final Fantasy X before Scott saves Tsushima? And now I will have beaten 10 and 12 before Scott finished Tsushima.
That sounds insane.
Look, you've got Expedition 33 to set off on. Don't worry about it. You got other things. You got
all will be forgiven if you play that game.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, my addiction to this world and this story has completely ruined my ability to play anything else. Every time I'm like, I should play something different, I go, but I could just play Final Fantasy XII instead, and that has won out 100% of the time. But I do want to give a thank you. I did allude to it in the Dear Martha letter. I did just recently have a birthday, and some listeners were very nice and gifted me a couple games, and they all said it was birthday stuff. So I want to give a shout out to Cruttlefish for Promise Mascot Agency. Mm-hmm. I want to give a shout out to Shatterproof for Dyson Sphere program, and he is coming. Who doesn't love hearing he is coming?
Oh, he is coming. Fantastic.
Yep.
Oh, you got to play that and tell me what you think. I love that game. I talked about it last week. Yeah.
Literally during the show, popping fresh with The Rogue, Prince of Persia, and RoboCop Rogue City, Unfinished Business. So thank you very much. That extraordinarily kind. I really appreciate it.
What a generous birthday day you had in the end, you know?
Yeah.
It's really great. Plus, Bo remembered to say it, and then I remembered to say it after he did. So we were all in.
We were all in. We all knew.
I usually see it on my calendar. For some reason, this one went right past me, but
that's fine.
We're all getting old.
I miss it all the time.
Well, speaking of he is coming.
And make me come.
It's Brian Dunaway just saying a terrible thing out loud. All right, moving on. By the way, I compiled some stuff regarding Final Fantasy XII. I just wanted to read through real quick. I did this for you because I saw what you posted. I thought, it'd be interesting to see, because there is this general feeling, deserved or not, out there that somehow 12 was less than, or people were frustrated with, or it was more divisive, or something. And it turns out, if you actually go back and look at the reputable sources for reviews for it at the time and so on, had a perfect 40/40 from Famitsu. They never do that, right?
Yeah.
And that was the original this isn't like Zodiac Age. We're talking like just the PlayStation 2 game. They gave it their highest possible score. It's still, to this day, as universal acclaim is its level on Metacritic. It won Game of the Year from GameSpot, IGN, Japan Game Awards, Grand Award, and PlayStation Awards Double Platinum Prize. And finally, I lost the other word. It ranks number 2 overall on a gigantic Reddit poll that ranked all of the Final Fantasy games, and it gave it to that. 7's the only thing that beat it, and not by much. So I think maybe it's like...
Maybe...
I don't know what the deal was back then. I think people did. It wasn't 10 or 10-2. And so people were just like, meh, I don't know. It's not that, but the ladies and the boobies. I don't know. I have no idea.
It's got Fran. If you're a butt man, you will eat well in Final Fantasy XII.
A butt man.
I don't like how that came out, but I like
that
it.
sentence. I had a lot going on in it, but we'll just,
Are you a butt man?
I stand by what I stand by what I said.
I respect a good butt. Sure.
Everybody try Final Fantasy XII if you're into these types of games. They're good. And I don't want to derail Scott's Expedition 33 because I'm so excited he's going to play it. But I do think you would really like Final Fantasy XII.
I am going to I need a sale for some reason because of its age.
No, that's fine.
So the minute it goes on sale, I think I'm just throwing $30 or whatever it is at it, and I'll just get it. Every time I see your video, I love it. Even when you're running around Benny Hill style like this.
Yeah. Well, they make it so easy to fast forward. Like if you want to zoom around fast, and like if you're overpowered, you don't want to go through all the battle system. You press L1.
That's
and the
great.
game goes 2x, or you can even set it to do 4x speed.
Yeah.
And you just crank through it. It's like, okay, it's done.
And you also had me sold on the idea that this is like an MMO with not being online is actually a selling point to me, because I like that loop.
It is similar to that. I think a lot of people say it in a negative context. There are elements that are similar. I don't think it feels exactly like a single-player MMO. I actually think the Dragon Age Origins is a pretty apt comparison, where it is clearly an RPG. It's real-time, but you can pause and issue commands. You can set your team to automatically fight. You can kind of play it however you want. You can almost play it turn-based, if you want to get real granular with it, but you can almost set the game to play very automated if you would rather just breeze through it. You can play it like He Is Coming. You can just put it on fast forward, set up your gambit so everybody does anything. You can even do it to the main character you're controlling, so you don't even have to issue commands to your character if you don't want.
Oh, nice. All right.
And just go, and it's great.
And make me come.
Yeah, and make him come.
It did. Yeah,
that's great.
Made me come right up there and say, what a Final Fantasy.
There you go. Bo, what'd you get up to this week? Sounds like a lot of World of Warcraft.
This week. So no new games. Sorry, folks. This week because it's World of Warcraft week. Because the new, I'm really into it. The new patch is really fun. We obviously had the trailer to look forward to, and I think the trailer was slamming. And so I was like, at some point I'm like, oh, I should play something else, and I'm like, no, I'm in right now.
Yeah.
So I probably play a bunch more this week, but I'm probably done. Like I feel like I finished all the content. Like the one thing, it's funny ping ponging between classic and modern, because modern really, I always felt like there's more to do often in MMOs. And WoW, the state of WoW right now is kind of like it's 30, 40 hours, and then I'll just raid log. Like that's pretty much
it. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So like I did the MSQ, I did the Horrific Visions event, I checked out the new delves, and I'm, upgrading my gear. I'm almost all, I have like champ and hero track gear, so like the gear progression's like not that slow. It's pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started doing some M plus with the guild yesterday with some guildies, and we ran 3 dungeons, and that was a good time. And I got one of my bis at Hero Track, which is great. I'm not really too worried about Myth Track either, so whatever. And so I figure I'll probably just do some more mythics, and they cap the crest you can get. So whatever. Like I made my 2-handed this week, and then next week I'll probably make the bracers. That's all I need to craft. And then I'll just be raid logging at a certain point once I'm up to like Hero Track, decent eye level for raiding. And the raid's pretty cool. I finished the raid. I beat Dimensius in story mode. So one of the things I guess they have that they took over from Final Fantasy was you can just do the raids with NPCs. Like you don't have to. You can just do story mode.
Sure.
And they seem to know the mechanics quite well. So the only thing was I couldn't figure out. There's a flying portion in the Dimensius fight, and it took me a few tries to figure it out. Unfortunately, you don't just die it. No one battle reses you. You got to like start the whole phase 1 over again.
Yeah, actually, that is also the case in Final Fantasy. Like, you can run with NPCs, but you are considered the most important character, and if you die, they're like, "We'll try it again until you don't die."
Yeah. So they will do battle reses during like main parts, but like during the flying part, there's no way to res you, right? So you just it's a hard out, which kind of sucks. And there's still some mechanics learning, obviously, because you still have to dodge things. The fight's really cool. It's like in the void world, and then you go into a black hole, fly a bunch, and then you're on like the tiniest platforms. It's pretty awesome. So I really enjoyed it, and that's pretty much it. I just there's not much new to say other than like the experience of doing expat content now is like much more friendlier to playing other games and having a life and stuff like that. Like I don't really feel. I don't know. Housing might change that because I'm a Valheim player and I've spent way too much time building houses and stupid stuff in that game.
Gamescom's got some of that on the floor. I'm curious what the reactions will be or how much people can talk about it because people are going to get.
They had a showcase yesterday where they showed like some bigger streamers playing it, like Taliesin and Evatil were hosting it, and they had like Zaryu and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
Do it. Not people known for their housing content or their casual PvE content. They're like PvPers and raiders, but they showed them doing the house, and like someone had built their house upside down. Like you could just build an upside down room and put the bed on the ceiling and stuff like that.
Sign me up. I'm in.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's very flexible, creatively, and there's a concept called neighborhoods. So your like neighborhood will be like your guildies or friends or something like that. So you're not instanced privately into your own housing area that nobody will see. Like all the people relevant to you will be in the neighborhood building their houses. Cool.
Yeah,
which is what we do in Valheim. Like our big thing in Valheim was like we built a town, so everyone had like a plot of land and built their land. And basically, me and Mike made awesome places, and Crofton's was kind of shitty, and we just laugh at him. He kept dying to mosquitoes, and we're like, "Well, why don't you put a door on your house, dumbass?"
Yeah, you stupid dummy.
He's like, he finally put it. She finally put one on, but it's kind of that same concept. So I think housing looks pretty cool.
It's going to be a big deal. Yeah. I think speaking of Crofton, he did some real smack talk, I guess, on the latest thing with.
We have some drama. I haven't listened to it yet, so I can't really talk about it this week. And I don't know. He wanted to have his say on the whole Ashlands debacle. That I think we ran him over the coals pretty good.
Yeah, deserved.
Almost to the point where I feel bad. He is a friend, and I want to be nice to him too, and stuff like that. But now I don't know. He decided to post another, the response to Core episode on their Dungeons and Diapers podcast, and I got to listen to it and find out what kind of slander's going on.
Yeah, they call that escalation, by the way. There's a word for that, and well done, Crofton. You've taken it up a notch.
Yeah, like I may have to be the bigger man, as I often have to be, and just let that slide. Because I'll escalate.
How humble!
We'll
how humble!
I love it. Perfect response.
Well, as egotistical as that might sound, it's nothing compared to the ego on Crofton. So
it's a big one.
With fire sometimes. But we'll see. I'll give it a listen and we'll update. But yeah, if you want to check out, I mean, it's nice that they're making content based on our content. You know?
Whatever we inspire,
good, you know?
it's fine with me. So.
I'd rather Crofton react to our stuff than some other streamers out there. It's a
good point.
It's all in good fun and so it's not really that serious.
Good faith, good fun, good times.
But he did seriously mess up and won't accept responsibility.
Oh, of course. Well, yeah.
But just so we're clear on the way out the door.
Yeah. Let's be clear about what's really going on here. All right. Now
that's a good question.
Sorry. You were about to say something. I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you going to say?
I quickly said I got the last word goodbye before you put the thing in.
Oh, well, then there you go then.
You pressing the sound was perfect timing.
That was perfect timing. We're going to play a quick voicemail from a listener. This is just a fan wanted to say something nice on the 10 Hams line, 10hams.com. That's 10hams.com.
10 Hams?
Not 10, 10.
I've heard that works, though.
Does it? Does 10 Hams work?
I think so. I didn't know why anybody got that. But
oh my gosh, it does.
I think it's because of how you pronounce it.
It's really 10 Hams, like TEN.
I think Shatterproof bought all the URLs.
Oh my gosh, you guys are my heroes. All right, that's amazing. I had no idea 10 Hams went there. All right. Well, anyway, we got this call from a listener. Just had some nice stuff to say. Here you go.
Hey, Core Crew. This is just a quick note of appreciation. My favorite thing about this show is when you call out games that are not on my radar. And as much grief as Scott gets often about not finishing a game, the flip side is he tries out a lot of games and talks about them, and often is the one that calls out things I haven't tried yet. So it is appreciated. That is a feature, not a bug, as far as I'm concerned. That's it. Have a great weekend.
Take that, universe. Let Tsushima burn.
This game I played this week, World of Warcraft. You might not have heard of it.
I know. I'm playing something from way back in the day. Bo's playing World of Warcraft, and thank God we have Scott here keeping us in line. I think that's part of the strength of the show.
I think yours counts because I think I would be willing to bet one of the most missed Final Fantasies is probably the one you're playing. So it actually just counts as one of those, I think.
Yeah. It's so good, you guys. It's
I have to admit, the way you talk about it really makes, and what I've seen, it makes me want to, because I remember back then hearing all the Himmin and Han, but now that I look back, I feel like it's like Wind Waker Himmin and Han. It's like people didn't really know what they had until it was past, and now they're like, best one ever, and it really is. Like it's as good as they should have thought it was then.
I need to see how it ends. Right now, it's vying for my favorite.
Wow.
Like, it's vying for the number one slot. Right now, 14's a little tricky. It's a little hard to place an MMO. That's very high up there, possibly number one. 6 has been my go-to if somebody was like, John, what's your favorite Final Fantasy? It would have been 6. This is in the running.
Damn, that John does not say that very often. So we're about to see. Either we're going to see the most disappointing ending in the history of Final Fantasy, and it won't break the number one slot, or it will.
How much of it is Fran's butt? Like, let's be honest.
I mean, it's not.
I'm watching gameplay, and I'm like, well, she's basically not wearing any pants the entire game in combat.
It doesn't hurt. I mean, it's not a detracting element of the game.
Sure.
But you got to say though, it's not just Fran. A lot of characters in that game are not wearing a lot of clothes. Fran's running around like Aladdin through the whole thing. So,
and Fran's the bunny lady. Is that who that is? Okay.
Yeah, she's the bunny lady.
Oh yeah, she is kind of half naked. All right.
Well, she just doesn't. She probably doesn't wear a lot of clothes because it's important for her magic powers.
Yeah, this is her hair. She's getting it done, getting work done.
Or it's contemporary bunny fashion,
Does she have a tail?
That's just what. Maybe it could be the armor, but there's something there.
Okay. Always curious about the rabbity fox or bunny people that if they got to have a tail as part of their whole deal. But I don't know about her. Also, Fran is just such somebody's old aunt name.
It is such an old name. It's really funny.
Really weird.
To me. They got an interesting names. Yeah. They got Vaughn. They got Balthier. They got Bosch. Ash. Not the one who runs around with Pikachu. Like,
is there a
Sid? There is a Sid.
There is a Sid.
There's actually 2 Sids. There's Sid, and then there's somebody named Al Sid.
Oh.
But he's not the real Sid.
So are the Sids?
There is a real Sid.
Are these good Sids we want to get behind, and
I don't know. Like, part of why the game's so good is like I thought I was gonna say, yeah, Sid's a bad guy in this game, but he might not be.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the fun of a good story. You don't know. I can't wait to hear when you finish it what your overall take is. But
yeah, we'll see. Well, it might have a massive fall off. I did get to one dungeon in particular where the game randomly decided, what if we put you in a confusing place, took away your mini map, and replaced it with just like, hey, you're somewhere.
Doesn't sound like fun.
I was not having a lot of fun in that section of the game, but it was not. I wasn't there for very long. But it does seem like a place I'm going to have to go back to. And I didn't like that, but that's the one thing I haven't liked so far.
I bet Henry would have an opinion on that.
Yeah, he'd be like, oh, it sucks.
This is the worst. I'm going to go make swords. All right. Well done, everybody, with that. Oh, we got a text, too. It says, you guys know what a thin client is, right? Says Racer951Y. I know what a thin client is. It's like if in video game terms, it would be like...
It's like when someone contracts you and they work out.
No, not that. Well, I mean, suppose it could be that. But it would be more like this. A web interface for a video game, I think, would be considered a thin client. It's like really small resources. Old Flash games, although they got pretty hairy for a while. But like a thin client for retail would be a simple screen that does all your stuff and it's really no frills and it connects to a mainframe or larger services that it controls, but really it's the thinnest possible client. You don't need a big OS. You don't need tons of hard drive space. It's just thin access to something, a terminal, for example.
What is the context we need to know?
I don't know. He didn't say.
Okay.
And that's part of why I was like so piqued by this. I was like, what are we talking about?
I haven't worked in like networking, so I assume you guys haven't either. Like, we have some concept of it.
I have a little
bit,
yeah.
The technical know-how is probably beyond the three of us. I think thin client, I'm just looking it up. There's a Wikipedia page for it. It's like, it means a specific thing in networking. You might have had it right, Scott. I didn't listen to your explanation, so you maybe...
I just don't know what I said that constitutes my need to know this.
It's a weird thing, right? Which is why I did it.
We were talking about server capacities for like logins or something last week, I think. I can't remember in the context of what, but...
Well, here's the official description. In computer networking, it's basically what I said. In thin client, sometimes called slim client, sometimes called lean client, is a simple low-performance computer or interface that has been optimized for establishing a remote connection with a server-based computing environment. That's it. So there you have it. Thin client.
I think we were talking about like just online capabilities last week for everything, right? Like,
yeah.
Ideally, your computer is just a network or just a network terminal that you access everything of relevance on the cloud. So
it's probably during our Microsoft discussion, probably.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I think we've come around to exactly why he said it. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know why he would think that.
I don't know. Maybe it was, you're listening to a thing. And you're like, don't you guys know what a thin client is? Like, you're spending 8 hours describing like a very simple concept in the networking field or something. But I don't have the additional.
Probably
when you send the text, please send the additional context so we remember.
If it makes you feel better, Racer951Y, I still don't remember the conversation.
I'll bet he does feel better hearing that.
Okay.
He'll tell me in Discord, I'm sure. Quick note about Nerdtacular and Core, by the way. I would like to get as many people to fill out the survey before I pull it down, which will be soon, because right now there's also an FAQ up there. Frequently asked questions is what that means, in case anybody wants to text us about that. You can hop in there and it will tell you everything we know so far, including tentative dates. And I say tentative because they're pretty much it. I'm just waiting for the contract to like put the nail in it. So I think you can count on those dates, but they're in there and they're shown as tentative. As soon as I hear different, I'm supposed to have that contract any day now. That'll all be locked in. So if you are interested in that event, what it used to look like in years past, what we used to do, what we're going to do this year, we have as much of that filled out as possible. There'll be more coming. There'll be a big games presence of some kind. I have one guest who I can't say who it is yet, but somebody who's this close to saying yes that you guys are going to lose your shit over. The core audience in particular. Oh, man. You're going to lose your minds.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so excited. I haven't told you
Is
guys
one
yet.
of the FAQ questions on there, will you be doing a live core, and how will you have time for anything else, if so?
It says, one of them is, what is the program schedule? And I on there say all of Friday and all of Saturday, and maybe even a whole part of Thursday night. Continuous core with Bo, John, and Scott.
Oh my god,
Just the same episode.
That's insane. It's just not going to be great. It's not. I'll tell the chat right now.
It's
They're all
not gonna be great.
They're all. I'll say this just to clear up any confusion. This guest I'm talking about has never been before, so that means you can take down. I mean, we may still get additional guests. Some may be returning, but you could take Greg off there, Chris off there. Not saying they're not coming. They may well come, but it's someone who's never been there before. So let that burn a hole in your gut for a hot minute until I get it confirmed.
Mouse? Did you finally confirm?
Definitely not Dead Mouse.
Vindicator Maraud.
That's a throwback to earlier in today's episode. Anyway, more on that later. In the meantime, I'd like you guys to join us on our Patreon. Why do that? Because you'll have new friends there. Brand new friends in the form of these names that I'm about to give you now. Why is this moving? It's being weird. Hold on one sec. There it is. The people are Justin Demme, like Demi Moore, but his last name is Demme. Like Jonathan Demme. Or who's the other director? They were brothers. Jonathan Demme, he passed away sadly. And then there was the other Demme. Ted Demme. Maybe it was Ted who died. Anyway, that's the last name of that guy, Justin Demme. Matt Ains? I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to need to help you with this. One second.
Just look at that. It looks like
Bo's like, I closed it, and I didn't realize.
EA is usually so ends.
Ends.
Matt
Okay.
Ends.
EANES. That's a cool last name. Jonas Steins Isvidal. Isvidal?
That's a name.
Sure. El Bacho.
Thank you, El Bacho,
Yeah.
for giving Scott some recovery.
I love that one. John Hughes, the famed director, 80s film director John Hughes. And then
nice.
finally,
We're going to get a core movie made about us.
Oh, I can't wait. It's about us. We get called to the principal's office on a Saturday, and we have to write an essay about who we think we are and what we're going to do with our lives. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Bo,
and procrastinate.
Then our final one this week is Bo's Warts.
Yep, you did it. You made a pun on my name. Congratulations.
I don't know who it is, but I love that they did it. Bo's Warts.
I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, that's awesome. You'll get no commercials ever. You'll get pre-show content every week, and you'll get monthly art in the mail, game-related stuff from me, and monthly host specials. Got one of those brewing up myself here coming soon. Watch for that. Frogpants.com/core has a link to it, but you can go straight there. Patreon.com/core show. That's going to do it for us. Well,
patrons are fucking awesome, by the way. I just want to say
they are pretty great. They are pretty great. That was
Thank you.
That was a rousing endorsement of our people.
Yeah, I felt it in my soul. It just came like bursting out.
Yeah.
I had to say it, even say it that way with the full, throated F-bomb. Like it just feels right. So,
yeah. Even this El Bacho. Love that name. Grandma, would you please take the microphone? And for those who just didn't pay any attention to those game names today, tell us again what we played.
Well, every week you say the game name at least twice at the start and the beginning, and you always forget to do it. So here I am to let them know what you didn't say twice. The Rogue, Prince of Persia. That was the Prince of Persia game. Kill the Brickman. That was the game about killing the Brickman. Shapes with a Z2 was mentioned because, of course, it was.
Yep.
And Scott did say Claire Obscure Expedition 33. That's right. Scott said it.
Yep.
John continued to say the same old thing, Final Fantasy XII. Just remember the 12 and assume it's Final Fantasy. He also mentioned that he might one day get around to properly playing Promise Mascot Agency, Dyson Sphere Program, He Is Coming, and the RoboCop Rogue City expansion. And also the Rogue Prince of Persia, but I already said that. Bo played World of Warcraft. It's a popular MMO from 2004.
Yeah. Been around for a bit. Well done. Well done. That was fantastic, Grandma. I think we'll keep you just a little longer on hospice. That's going to do it, everybody. Thanks for listening. That'll do it for us. We'll be back next week with more, including a live Grandma. We'll see you then.
Those pants are made for frogging, if you know what I mean. I actually don't. Frogpants.com.
And make me come